Good evening. My name is Dani Simone. Welcome to Learn to Sketch and Procreate for Dress Designers. This is the second class that we've done. I want to make sure I turn down this music because it sounds loud for some reason. This is the second class we've done. I'm super excited to work on a dress and work with a croquis that you guys have been asking for. You've been asking for plus size croquis. And I'm giving y'all my baby. I love this croquis so much. But before we get started, I wanted to quickly go over the agenda for the class. That way you understand what to expect. And just so you know, this is a time commitment. The last time we did this, it was about, I thought it was like maybe 2 hours. It was 2 hours long. But just so you know, there will be a replay. I'm going to show you where you can find that. But let's just get into the agenda. Okay, so first I'm going to talk about, I'm going to give a little introduction into me, very little, because I don't want to go too deep into that tonight. You can watch some of the other videos if you want to learn more about me. And then I'll also share a little bit about why Procreate is important for your dress design business. I'm also going to give you the giveaway information. I've been sharing about this giveaway. I emailed it. I put it in the discussion on this event. I put it in the Procreate for Dress Designers group. So I really want to share that with you guys and make sure you have the opportunity to win an Apple Pencil cover. Because actually, today I was about to buy an Apple Pencil cover. So this is mine right now. And I was about to buy one and I was like, shoot, I should give one away. So I just want to share the love. Also, I'm going to go over a short legal disclosure. I'm going to share the tools needed. We're going to go through Procreate Basics. So you're going to need the workbook and this is what it looks like. And then we're going to do the sketch along. So that's when I actually sketch and you guys watch me and actually do what I'm doing. And all the information is in the workbook. I'll show you that as well. And then I'm just going to do a quick demo of some other things you can do with either the croquis I gave you, the skirt for tonight, sorry, the dress for tonight, as well as the lace applique. You guys were asking about lace. So I've been working on panels and stuff, but I figure, you know what, I have some lace appliques. Let me just show you guys that. And then we're going to talk about something super special. It's the Procreate for Dress Designers Sketch Academy, okay? I want to talk a little bit about that, why you might want to join, and really very little about it because I don't want to go too deep. I want to actually jump into the Q&A, and then that'll be the end. But I'm really excited for the Q&A because I know you guys have so many questions. You DM me, you email me, and I'm super excited to answer them. All right, so let's get into it. So I just want to share very briefly, like I said, about myself. I started designing professionally in 2001. I went to fashion design school. I worked in the LA Garment District and the New York Fashion District. I am from Connecticut, and I actually moved to California for fashion design school. And then when it was time to, start taking the next level in my career, I realized that LA Garment District wasn't it. I'm just being honest. It just wasn't it. So I moved to New York, and it was like doors just opened, and I was able to land several jobs in the industry. And I even freelanced as well. So during that time, what got me the jobs that, I was able to get, obviously I was, presenting myself well. I knew how to talk and, stuff like that. I interviewed really well, but it was my sketches. And I just love to share this. I've been sketching like this in this kind of style for literally years. My style hasn't changed that much. But I just decided to start using digital means to illustrate. I did use Illustrator. Excuse me, let me take a sip of water. I did use Illustrator and Photoshop to create my illustrations. But just a few years ago, I heard about Procreate. But actually, I would see people's sketches, and I'd be like, whoa, what's that program? And I would try to do it in Illustrator, and I found out that's not Illustrator because the capabilities of Illustrator, they're there as well, but it's a lot harder. And I ended up getting an iPad. I tried Procreate out, didn't like it. I thought it was horrible, and I thought I was horrible, and I actually cried about it. I left it alone for about 6 months, and I would just be like, I wasted my money on an iPad. I wasted my money on paying for Procreate, and then I just had this idea to hire someone. I did one session with her. She's not in the wedding dress or dress design world. So what she showed me was super basic, but it just opened up my mind. And I realized that this is really just drawing like you draw on paper, but you just have more tools. So I'm going to show you those tools. It's going to be really fun. And I'm excited to show you guys that. So I wanted to just rush through that really quickly because I really want to make sure we get to the meat of this. But I want to share with you why Procreate is important for your design business, okay? So the first reason is because it's easy it's easy to use, and you can create a library of styles. This is why I have those templates that you can use. You can create a library of styles, and you can keep on using those and just changing up the details. I shared this the last class, but the tops of these two dresses are actually the same dress. I just fixed it and changed it for the two different croquis of their different sizes. And then as you can see, we got different lace, we got different details, but literally you can use the croquis and templates in so many different ways. I'm gonna actually show you guys some of my drawings with the same croquis and then some of the same templates as well. Another thing is that it's easy to do revisions for your clients. So everybody has had clients who change their mind so quickly. They'll say they want this, and then all of a sudden, oh, that's not what I was thinking that, you know? With Procreate, you can easily make revisions, you can change things up, and you'll be able to show your client without actually having to make a whole nother sample or, you know, try to redraw that sketch that you made. And then the last reason I'm going to discuss tonight is that Procreate creates more dimension to your sketches. I was supposed to have a pencil sketch available, but actually, I'll just show you this. So I still sketch by hand, y'all. I just want to share that with you. But really quickly, I wanted to come up with like a sketch or dress that I could make out of the mermaid croquis the mermaid template that I gave the last class. So I quickly just drew this out. But just if you use these two as an example, you see there's so much more dimension. And you know, I can go way deeper with a sketch, but I would never be able to get this dimension. It looks like fabric, right? Like, get close, see that? Doesn't that look like fabric? You see that? See all that shadow? You see the color? Like when you show that to your clients, they are blown away. And I love that. I love that I'm able to do that, and I love to share it with you guys. All right, so let's move on. All right, so now we're going to talk about the tools that we need, okay? And we're going to go through the workbook. So make sure you, oh, sorry, I just jumped ahead. We have to do the giveaway information. So I just want to give you that really quickly, you guys. So that's not it. And that's not it either. Actually, I forgot I didn't make a slide for it. For the giveaway, I do have it in the group, in the Procreate for Dress Designers group. I also have it in the event. It's super simple. I'm not going to go through all the steps, but just know, like, whatever you work on tonight, just feel free to send me, well, actually post it to your story and tag me. I have 2 accounts that I want you to tag me on. By Dani Simone Studio, that's my custom wedding dress account, and then by Dani Simone. So that's just my illustration, teaching illustration, all that. Tag me on Instagram and so I can see your sketch. And the first person who does that is going to win an Apple Pencil cover. You need to make sure I know what generation you have. This is a generation 1. But just let me know what generation you have, and I will buy it for you. And it will also be in the color you want, so you'll let me know that as well. And I will announce who that is on Tuesday the 5th, okay? So you have time over the weekend to do this, but don't think you have all the time in the world, because the last time people were DMing me sketches, like, I want to say within an hour of finishing the class. So keep that in mind. All right, so let's go. All right, so now let's go through the actual workbook, and then we'll get started. So I actually mixed things up. I put the legal disclosure before actually I put about me before the legal disclosure. So the legal disclosure actually was supposed to come first, but just pretty simple. You can read through all this if you want to. I did work with a lawyer. I have a lawyer for my bridal brand, and you should too, okay? But I did work with a lawyer just to make sure, you know, I'm protected in certain, you know, for certain instances. So the nitty gritty is, you can share these sketches as much as you want. You can share them to your clients. You can sell them as like I sell sketches to my clients. They pay, I think I'm at 125 right now. So they pay 125 for 2 revisions of a sketch for their wedding dress. So you can do that. You can share them. You could do live videos where you show yourself sketching. You can do all that. But what I don't want you to do is to sell it to anybody else, to claim that the croquis that you use, no language should say anything like you design this yourself, because I actually spend a lot of time designing these croquis, and I know I need some respect, you know? And then also the same thing with the templates. Please don't resell those. Please don't put it in a bundle pack, that sort of thing. I know that most of us are just, you know, we're dress designers, so we don't have goals to create a sketch class like what I'm doing. But just in case, just know like that I have a copyright on this, so please don't do that, okay? All right, we good. So like I said, I skipped, so we don't need to look at that. But before we go into this, I want to show you guys a couple things. So some of you might have seen this post I put in the sewing tips and tutorials with Classic Royalty Group, which is a great group, first of all. But you might have seen this. But this is some of the sketches that I created for a client that I worked on her 3-piece dress. I've been doing that a lot lately too. I've been noticing a lot of people want a 3-piece or a 2-piece. But I was able to show her different versions of this with these sketches. And I don't think you guys noticed this because nobody said it. But this right here, this was actually another version of it. If you could see right here, see some lace there. You see how it's a little bit darker here? This was actually a version that I made that had illusion mesh and long sleeves because she wanted to see what a sleeve would look like. I couldn't find the one that just doesn't have the sleeves, but you could see, you know, this is what it looks like. And you can see the lace and all that stuff. So I posted it just so you guys could see, like, I'm able to give that much detail. And this is actually when I first started using Procreate. I want to say I had only been using it and using it well for about 2 months. But it is just that fast. If you just keep working at it, keep practicing, you will actually start getting better and better. My sketches now are like 100%, 120%. I don't know. I'm making up a number. 100% better than what this looks like. But this is just a great example. So, you know, this is what I showed. This is the bell bottoms. Also, that's another thing. Like tonight we're working on a plus size croquis. I actually created that croquis. I drew it from a person, right? If you notice, this is kind of like an illustration style. So she's not that same size. She's like the height of me. I'm 5'3". This person's probably like 5'9", if it was a real person. So now I actually make my croquis look more like my person. And in a future class, I will teach you guys how to do that. Tonight we're not going to do it because I want to just go through the basics. And then this was just another version in white, but I was quickly able to make this just by changing the color, and I'll show you guys how to do that, okay? All right, so we can be done with that. And then I wanted to show you guys, this is not the one, sorry. All right, I want to show you here. This croquis, I have made so many different designs with this croquis, okay? If I'm talking too fast, let me know. I'm trying to see if I can look at the comments on my laptop, but I'm not actually seeing anything, so I apologize, y'all, if I'm going super fast. I do tend to talk fast. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. Okay, so these sketches were all made using the Sheena Croqui. Okay, so I call her Sheena because it's like it's based off of a model I used to work with, though I actually designed this sketch off a different woman, but she had a similar figure. So just wanted to show you guys this. This is like a 3-piece collection for a beautiful plus size bride. I really want to make this. Both with, not both, all 3 of these skirts have a split. And then this one has a detachable, like ruffly skirt on top. Okay. This is actually a dress I made for a bride. She loved the dress. Like, it was just absolutely amazing. So I just want to share that. And also, just to go back to the ruffles, I remember someone said they wanted to learn how to do the ruffles. Listen, I can teach you, and I can also give you templates. So as we get a bit further in these classes, I will start sharing that. But it's a lot more work. So I just want to share that. But I do have plans to show you guys that. Okay, here. So this skirt, this is like a little a T-length skirt, and then we have like a lacy top. And sometimes I left this like this so you guys could see. Sometimes like the shape of the dress or the shape of the garment doesn't fit completely with the person's shape. So I might actually go back underneath and erase on the croquis. Okay, so that's why you can see that here. The final version, because this doesn't have all my shading, it doesn't have my highlights on it, but the final version, this is erased on the side. Okay, and then here's another cute short skirt. This was for a client, and she ended up going with a different skirt, but I was able to easily show her 2 different skirt styles on a woman who had a similar figure to her. And she was able to say, oh yeah, okay, yeah, this is what I want. Oh no, I didn't want that. Like, she actually explained the skirt to look like this. And I even showed her pictures with godets and stuff, and she's like, yeah, that's what I want. And then I drew it out, and then she's like, oh, that's not what I wanted, you know? So sketching is a great way to be able to show people, like, are you sure that's what you're saying? And also, actually, this is the dress right here. This is a 3-piece dress. The only difference is this blue stuff that you see down here is like a applique. It's on the short skirt underneath. So I'm gonna take it off. Eee. Okay, so see that? So we have a short skirt underneath. That was the skirt she ended up going with. And then this is the one like I just showed you. And I also adjusted this Croqui. I made her smaller in height because the bride is like 4'11", I think. I made her smaller in height and adjusted things about her, including her skin tone and the hair, you know, to make it look more like my bride so she could understand what she looked like in her dress, okay? And then just a couple more. This was inspired by that dress, but I love a sheer corset. I love some sleeves, some romantic sleeves and stuff like that. I actually have my own style, and you might notice, especially with a lot of my sketches, especially the ones that end up not being as popular, like when I share them. If I share a mermaid dress, if I share illusion mesh, everybody's on it. If I share something like this, which is actually more my real style, it's like, oh, that's pretty, you know? But then I'm getting DMs, okay? Because the truth is, there's a bride out there who likes this, you know? So this beautiful romantic style. And this would also be, I don't think it's on this one. Yeah, it doesn't have it on this one, but this would also be a skirt that comes off. I love that idea of changing things up. And then just a couple more. Oh, that's the one I showed you guys already. Let's see if you can see it. See how I said, like, in the final version I removed that so you don't see the girl on her body on the side. And also, even in the sketch, I have stitch lines to let you know that this is supposed to have pockets, okay? And that's something that you can do. We already saw that one. This was actually a rough sketch I did for a Ghanaian, Ghanaian bride. And honestly, I'm sorry if I said that wrong. I actually don't know. But this one was a rough sketch. It was not a perfect sketch. But I was able to, I made the pattern. I made the pattern, okay? So I took from some of the different suppliers that a few designers, I wonder if she's even on here. One of my designer friends, Jennifer Anadu of Above and Beyond Designs, she sent me some people who do the Ghanaian kente, right? So this is the color that the bride wanted, and so I sketched it all up, you know. So, and I actually I took the fabric. Let me see if it's on here. I don't think so though. Yeah, it's not on here. So I actually took the fabric, drew a little bit of the kente, and then I just kept copying it. It's so simple. It's so easy. I'm telling y'all, it's so easy. So I feel like this is advanced, but I would love to show you guys how to do that too. This is for another bride. She had like 2 different skirt types that she wanted, and also a corset, and then 2 different types of sleeves. So I gave her all those options. I don't know if they're on here. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna just show you guys real quick. So the sleeve. So you're not gonna see the different skirts, but you will see the different sleeves. So sleeve 2. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. So sleeve 2 is like a more romantic, fluttery sleeve, and then sleeve 1 was a cap sleeve. So see that? So this one's a cap sleeve. So you can do that in your sketches. You could have the 2 different options within that sketch, and then just be like, you like A or you like B, which one you want, you know? And she can make a decision, you know, based off of being able to see it. Or also, oh, do you want sleeves or not? Well, she ended up saying that she saw this sketch I did, and she wanted me to turn it into her version. So I love this dress so much. Like, y'all, this is getting made. I'm just telling you. But I love this dress so much, and she saw it, and she wanted me to make some changes to it. So I did. And I'm not going to show it to you guys because this is her dress. But I do want you to see, like, sometimes you might sketch something and someone might see it and be like so inspired and they are ready to buy, okay? So keep that in mind. This is why I sketch so much, if you ever wonder. Here's another one. This one, I just love this dress. I love a puffy romantic sleeve. We got some buttons on here. We got some draping going on. This is a detachable skirt, so it would come off and you have that slim underskirt with that really dramatic, sexy thigh slit, okay? I know I said it so aggressively. Sorry, y'all. I just be too excited. I think that's what it is. And then here is, I love this dress as well. I made a few different versions of this for the client, and I showed her like no exposed boning, no lace, beads only, you know, everything you can imagine, just so she could decide which one she wanted. And this is a reception dress, you know, and so she's paying wedding dress money, you know. So that's what I really love about this, is that you have so much control and the ability to make so many revisions, okay? So there was one more thing I wanted to show you. That's the same dress, sorry about that. There's one more thing I wanted to show you, and then we're gonna get into it. So I think this is it. I'm trying to quickly skip over client work because I don't want y'all to see, you know, the client work. But I want to show you. So remember that dress I just showed you? This is actually the first version of it. This is when I first started using Procreate. I was crying and I was sad and I felt like such a failure. And this is what I made. And what's interesting is the bride is a art teacher, and she actually uses Procreate herself. And I think that I still did a good enough job that really captured what she was looking for, that she's like, yes, this is it. And so she still bought, you know what I'm saying? So even when you think your sketches aren't all that, you're building your skills, number one, but number two, you're doing something that the average person just can't do. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then I was like, at one point, guys, I wasn't even drawing faces. Oh, I don't really draw faces much because I really feel like that's part of my brand. Like, I want the bride to imagine herself in it. So I don't put features, usually just the eyebrow or something like that. I've been doing that since I was in college. But with this, I was just too scared to even draw a face, you know, like the shape of a face and some hair. So I drew this one, and this is super cute, and also it became a reception dress for someone, you know. And I also made a dress. I just did a photo shoot that's going to end up in a magazine with a dress based off of this one, and I thought I was garbage. I thought it was so garbage. And then here's more, you know, dresses, and I started getting more confident. I bought a few brushes off Etsy, some lace brushes. I will tell you, I don't really use them anymore, mainly because I like to draw my lace, and that's the reason why I included an applique tonight. So I feel like I'm doing a whole lot of talking, but y'all here to learn, so let's do that, okay? All right, so I just want to make sure we start where we're supposed to. All right, so turn in your Bibles. I'm just kidding. Okay, get your workbook, right? And we're going to it's page 5, okay? So it's right after this. This is actually a reception dress I'm making for somebody right now, but I just love it so much. And I made another version of it too. I just love it so much. It might go on the line, you know? But page 5. So just quickly talking about the tools that we need, okay? So these tools, this is going to help you get started with Procreate fast. There are tons of tools and tons of brushes that you could use, but I find after, I would say now it's been about 2 years of drawing in Procreate, and the last year being, in my own opinion, at a level that's much better than it was before. I really don't use that many different tools, you know, in Procreate, so I just want to let you know. So this is what you definitely need. You need an iPad. I put the size of this is actually a small one. This is a 10.5-inch one. I don't remember what generation, but it is compatible with the Apple Pencil. So I made sure of that. I got to look through my Apple receipts. I don't remember. But yeah, so you need at least an iPad this size. Now there is the Procreate for a phone. I think it's called Procreate to Go. I do suggest, like, if you don't have an iPad, like a lot of people are asking, what kind of iPad to get, or they don't have money for it yet, or whatever. If you just want to start trying to use Procreate, go ahead, get the Procreate to Go, or whatever it's called, and start using that on your phone. But just know that you can't like screenshot and have everything be the size you want it to be. You can't see everything at once and get all the details. So it is a little bit different, but the tools are the same. Okay. Definitely want to download the Procreate app. I love that they just charged us that one time and we got it for lifetime. And I actually use that in my academy. That's my opinion, that you shouldn't have to pay for something over and over again. It should be yours forever. So the Procreate app, download that. Have an Apple Pencil. I don't know why I left the L off the pencil. And then a paper fill screen. So you can't see it here, but I'm going to show you guys real quick. You would have thought I had all this together, and I did, and then I moved everything around. So I got this off of Amazon. It was pretty cheap. I think it came with 2. I think there's a second one in here. No, I'm lying. It only came with 1. But it does really help with drawing, because if you draw without it, like I'm of the camp of do what you need to do right now. But to me, it's also important just to, get started. But I did notice that when I would use my iPad without it, it was kind of just moving everywhere. The texture was not great, so it didn't feel like drawing on paper. So this does help with drawing, okay? These are optional tools. I used to use artist gloves. I don't even know where it is. It's probably in here. Let me see if I can find it. I used to use artist gloves. I watched some videos. people said, oh, you got to have an artist glove. If you don't have an artist glove, what are you doing? Okay, I don't know where it is, so I don't know what I'm doing. But I suggest you could try it out if you want to, but I actually felt like it was unwieldy and it got in the way a lot, and I just felt like, what's the point, you know? So I don't use an artist glove anymore. But I think somewhere else I have the link to buy artist. Oh, no, this is here. So you could click here. If you open this up as a PDF, it's clickable, and you could purchase artist gloves if you want to. They're really cheap. You can try it out. It's really up to you, but I don't use them anymore. I have an iPad cover on tonight, but you don't always have to have an iPad cover if you don't want to. But just make sure you buy the right one for your size. But listen, you're not going to be doing stuff like having your iPad up like this as you draw. It needs to be natural, so don't worry about that sort of thing. An iPad cover is just to protect your iPad. An Apple Pencil cover. It's not necessary, but I do notice that it just feels more comfortable. This is like rubber and grippy, so it's nice. Okay, so it's nice to have. And then last but not least, Procreate brushes. So I used a lot of, I don't say spend, but I used a lot of money buying up Procreate brushes. Like I went crazy. Every day I was buying brushes. And I'm about to tell y'all right now, like as we go through this, I think it's about 3 or 4 brushes all the time. And then a couple of the ones I bought. And some of the ones that I bought, I actually decided to make better versions. So, you know, when I talk about the Sketch Academy, that's going to be part of it, that you will be able to purchase some of the brushes that I made, you know, that I felt like, you know, this was a better version for a dress designer. All right, so we figured out our tools. Let's go through Procreate basics. All right, I'm going to take you through a hands-on lesson on how to start using Procreate fast. There are many different tools available in the Procreate app, but as a dress designer, many are unnecessary, so I'm focusing only on what you need to get started fast. Follow me in what I'm calling a sketch-along. I'm calling it a sketch-along now. I called it a draw-along before. Follow me in what I'm calling a sketch-along and begin getting comfortable and familiar with the tools you need to draw professional poly sketches. Let's begin. All right. So again, this is the workbook. What you're going to notice is different is that we're just not using this Croqui tonight. Okay, we're using the plus size Croqui. I hope you had a chance to download it. If you did not, I'm actually going to take a sip of my smoothie before it goes bad. So please go ahead and download it quickly if you haven't. I'm looking on Facebook. It's a little bit slow, but I'm looking on here, and I just want y'all to let me know you have it. See, that's what I'm saying, Ariane. That's what I did too. I hope I'm saying your name right, but I felt like I needed to get brushes every day. It was ridiculous. It was truly ridiculous. Okay, just let me know in the comments for those who had an opportunity, if you've gotten the workbook. I mean, sorry, not the workbook. If you downloaded the plus size Croquis. That's if you're in the Facebook group, obviously. If you're in the Procreate for Dress Designers Facebook group, make sure you've downloaded the Croquis. Okay? All right, let me take a sip of my smoothie, and then we'll move along. Okay. All right. Awesome. All right, so I'm seeing a couple yeses. Seeing a couple yeses. Awesome. Hey, Audrey. Hey, Angelina. That's such a pretty name. And Ariane's such a pretty name, too. And I have a cousin named Audrey, too. So anytime I see your name, Audrey, I think of my cousin Audrey. Oh, and she was a great seamstress, too. She's still alive, but she don't sew. But she's an awesome seamstress. All right. So I'm not going to be viewing the workbook from here. I actually have the workbook saved on my computer. So I'm going to go through it here, make sure I'm following along and not following along. I'm leading you guys right. But let's start. So let's go to your Procreate app. Okay. So first what we're going to do is we're going to hit the little plus sign here, and we're going to create a canvas. Okay. So we're going to create 2 canvases. One of them we don't need to use tonight, but I just wanted to show you guys. So sorry, I did that really quick. Okay, sorry. All right, so hit the little plus sign in the black box. And this is going to take you to making a custom canvas. Okay, I already have the numbers here, but I'm going to switch it. So we'll do the 3000 px, make sure it says px, by 3000 px, okay? Press create. Oh wait, I did that wrong. Sorry, y'all. This is another size I've been using lately, but I don't want to do this one with y'all tonight. Sorry about that. Let's ignore that one. Let's do this again. So press that plus, press the black box with the plus sign. So it's 3,000. So 3,000 by 2048. Okay, sorry, 3,000 by 2048. If you want to write it down, you can, but if you have the workbook, you'll be able to look at this again later. All right. So remember that first, the three the three sketches I showed you, the plus size collection. I use this often if I'm creating like a little collection, or I want to have dresses all like, you know, at one time shown. But typically if you're drawing, you're not going to use this to draw, you know, you're going to use this maybe to copy and paste something in. So this is basically a landscape size, which is across basically, a horizontal. And you don't need this in regular drawings. Okay. But I just wanted to show you guys that. All right. So let's make another canvas. Press the plus sign, press the plus sign again in the black box. All right. So now we're going to do 2048. So 2048 at the top by 3,000 at the bottom. And then press create. And this is the canvas size that I love to work with. It's just like working with a piece of paper. If you've ever done like, you know, drawing on paper and you use vellum or like a Canson vellum or something like that. That's a brand of paper. I don't know if you know that, so I don't want to be going too deep in those names, but if you use any kind of like artist paper, they're usually shaped like this, you know, and even like, you know, a piece of regular paper, like letter size paper is this size too. I find that this is the perfect size for drawing. So let's go back out. And I just want you to see, like, so I don't know if you guys made this one too, but you see like, this is most useful for sketching. This is great for, you know, putting together like a little collection like this one here. Hopefully you can see that. This one I actually use a lot for like making laces and appliques and stuff like that. But we're clicking here again. So from now on, wanted to show you this real quick. So from now on, when you press the plus sign, those canvases we made, those numbers are saved here. So all you have to do is just click it, and now you can create your next canvas or your next sketch, okay? All right, so let's go back into this. Okay, and just make sure, you know, if I'm a little bit too fast, please let me know. I'll just try to keep checking Facebook. Oh, okay, Alika. Okay, so Alika, everything will be in the Facebook group, and you can watch this later. If you do have the opportunity to look now, just to see, go ahead and just familiarize yourself by, you know, what I'm saying and what you can see. All right, so I'm gonna try not to look at the comments too much because I know that it's kind of hard to do both, but I'm gonna get somebody who's gonna read me the comments so I can answer y'all, because I feel like I want to be part of that too. Okay, all right, so now we're gonna select the wrench tool. So right up here next to gallery, top left, there's a little wrench tool. Press the wrench tool. Okay, click the wrench icon, then insert a photo. So that was the icon. Then click down here in this list, click insert a photo. So you should have the pictures that I sent you, the Croqui, the Sheena Croqui, and then the dress and the lace downloaded. Okay, we're gonna click on. So don't worry about what the workbook says. We're not doing that Croqui tonight, but the instructions still work. We're gonna click the Sheena Croqui, and now she's in our canvas. Okay. So I don't know if you guys know, but with Procreate, just like with your phone, you can make things big and small just by, you know, doing this, okay? So I want to see this whole thing, so I'm using my fingers to make it, you know, get to a manageable size so I can see everything. So what I'm noticing, and what I want you to notice, is that she's way too big to be drawing dresses. Our dresses are usually full. There's a lot of fabric. If you do ruffles, if you got a train, like, it will be definitely off the screen. So the next section is select tools, okay? So what you're gonna do, so first unclick this arrow. So now click the S in the top menu. Okay, so down here, a menu pops up. I want you to ignore it, but just remember that a menu is gonna pop up with different selections. We don't need any of these selections right now. And I'm just trying to show you what we need as designers of dresses as opposed to like an illustrator or a graphic artist, okay? All right, so next, so we still have that S selected. I want you to draw around the croquis, just like this, like you're cutting her out or something. Okay, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but you don't want to have like any part of her not in it, okay? All right, so now select that arrow. So remember the arrow that was blue when we first started? I want you to select it now. And now you see like a box pops around her, a rectangle pops around her. So now I want to show you, this is how you can make it big and small. So you do want to make sure these down here are not selected anything but uniform is not selected, okay? Just for what I want to show you. But this is how you resize her. So you're just going to grab like, you see how right there there's like a little blue circle, or here, or here, or here. So all around there little blue circles. If you grab any of these, you can change the size of her. Okay? So for a minute, just play around. Make her big and small. See, she teeny tiny. Now she real big. Now she's regular size. You know? Play around with her. And then I want you to just make her a size that is kind of comfortable for, like, if you did have like a nice full ball gown, or you had like a mermaid skirt with a bit of train coming on the side, okay? All right, I'm just gonna make her a little bit smaller. And then I like to put her kind of in the center. All right, so make sure she's in the center, y'all. Okay. All right, so I'm skipping to the next page, so make sure you turn to the next page. All right, so now you can deselect it, so just hit the blue arrow again. All right, so we're gonna talk about layers. All right, so the first thing is, this is like the most important thing that I can ever tell you. You never ever draw directly on the layer that you're on. So if you click here, click the little square here, this takes you to your layers menu, okay? We are on layer 1, and that's where the croquis is. If you draw right on here, so I'm just gonna quickly show you what I'm saying. If I draw right on here, if I make a mistake, and I'm like, oh, I need to redraw this, or I need to recolor this, or whatever, what will end up happening is I will mess up the sketch, you know? So what you want to do is never draw on that layer, and instead draw on the next layer. So I'm just going to make it go away. We're not going to talk about this yet. That's later, a little bit later on in this tutorial. But first of all, again, don't draw on that layer. Okay, so second, you're going to create a new layer. So click those double boxes again. Right here, next to the little circle. This is an eraser, this is like a hand, and this is a brush. So click the squares, and then I want you to click the plus sign. That gives you a new layer, okay? We're gonna draw on this, so I just wanna make sure y'all drawing on that layer. So I wanna show you some transparency in layers. So let's go to the layer that has the croquis. So like go down and click again. I want you to click the little box here next to the N. Click that. When you click it, it makes any information or any drawing in that layer go away. Okay, so the reason that might be helpful is, you know, sometimes I might draw with a croquis, but then I take the croquis away because I'll kind of want the dress to look like it's just floating. So I might not want the croquis there. Or I want to see a detail that I can't see if the croquis is there. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to click the N. So next to the little checkbox. So make sure you bring it back. Now click the little checkbox. Next to the checkbox, click the N. So I click the N. Okay, so that gives me all this menu, and then also this opacity and max. What you're going to do is select this lever and then just bring it up and down. See that? You see how it's getting dark and light? That's the transparency that you can create within a layer. Now, there are other ways to create transparency, but I just wanted to show you this way. This is actually my favorite way, actually, because it gives you more control. All right, so play with that a little bit. But I just want to share, like right now, you've learned how to resize. You know what you can do if you want to resize. You know how to make your layers. You know how to make your layers transparent. You know how to make layers go away. So that's a lot that you've already learned. You already know how to use Procreate. Isn't that awesome? Okay. All right. So we've played with it. We're not going to use it right now, but we played with it. I want to let you know that like on another layer, I would use this if I want to make like a sheer corset, if I want to make illusion mesh look. I have 3 different ways to make it, but my favorite one is to use the layer transparency. And I might show you guys later as we draw this dress, or the dress once we do it. Okay, so you're going to set the opacity back to max. So you see mine is at max. And then we're going to the next page. All right, so let's talk about color. So I'm just going to click so I can get out of the layers. And you can do that too so that menu goes away. All right, so actually, sorry, go to your layer 2. Okay, so go back to your layers and then click on layer 2. Okay, now you're going to see this little circle in the top right-hand corner. Okay, click the circle. You can see I have a ton of palettes here. You guys don't have as many palettes yet, unless you're not telling me something. But these are all my palettes for drawing wedding dresses. So you got the ivory wedding dress, you got the blush pink wedding dress, you got the white wedding dress. I haven't made any for like black or purple or any of that yet, but I will, because I definitely think it's helpful if you already have like a palette that you can use. Okay, so looking at the bottom of this, you know, this whole menu thing, we have disc, classic, harmony, value, and palettes. And we're already in palettes. So the one that the 2 that I use, so the one I use all the time is palettes, and then I also use disc, okay? So click disc, and as you can see, this allows you to switch colors, change your colors up, make different colors. This is hues. Sorry, these are colors including primary colors, and these are hues, okay? So that means that gives you, so like let's say I'm in this orange, but I don't want a burnt orange. I want like maybe, actually let me not use orange because I don't even know what you would call this dark color. Let me go to reddish. Okay, so maybe I don't want red, maybe I want like a pink color, so then I'll slide it over, okay? So you can play around with that for a little bit. Just look at the different colors that you could make. And every time you select one, you would create a new palette. So I'm going to show you what that means. Let me go to, I feel like I want to do purple, and I want to turn it to like a lavender or lilac. Okay. So now, because I slid it over there, actually let's do it even a little bit more. I like that. So because I did that, now I have a color. Sorry, my opacity on this side was set weird, and we're not into that yet, so I didn't want to confuse you guys. But this is what it would look like. This is the color that I just made out of, you know, this purple color wheel hue thing. Okay, so you could play around, you can make colors if you want to, you can see how the colors can change. I love light blue, so like everything you see from me is always gonna have some light blue. And then I also like hot pink. So, you know, I can make different hot pink palette colors, red colors, like this is getting into burgundy and wine. This is like Merlot, you know, so like you can play around with the different colors. All right. Let's see. So now we're just going to select the black color. So in your palette, so you don't have as many colors as I do. So I'm just choosing the black colors. I have to slide down a bit to get the color, but you can just choose a black color. Okay. So just go in your palette, whatever it looks like, and grab a black color. Okay. I'm also just going to erase this real quick because we don't need this for anything. I just wanted to show you guys how you change up the colors. All right. And then we're going to go down to the next page. All right. So my favorite brush for creating an outline is the technical pen. So remember you have a black color here. Now you're going to click on the brush here. This is where all your brushes are housed. This is your brush library. I have tons of brushes. Like I said, some I made, some I bought, actually even some freebies that I found. But the truth is you don't need this many brushes. It actually can be confusing if you just started out. But we're right now in the inking palette on the brush library, and I'm going to choose technical pen. This is my favorite pen. I use this for drawing outlines, details. I can make it big and small. I'll show you how to change sizes, but I want you to make your screen, we want to get close so you can move your girl out the way for right now. And then I want you to just draw a line. See that? So this is what your technical pen looks like. Isn't that a good border or outline? Y'all could use it. Like, you will love it. I'm telling you. Okay, so it's like my favorite. It's kind of similar to a micron pen. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Let me see. I got one right here. So when I was in fashion school, they taught us to outline all of our drawings in like a thicker thin black pen. And this is a type of pen. It's a micron pen. You can get it at any art supply store. But this actually makes a similar line to this. And so I was used to drawing with it, and so I still use it. But I can make it thick and thin, okay? And if you look in your if you look in your workbook, you will see I've also shown you what the micron pen looks like. So it looks super similar to this, okay? All right. So the next pen is the syrup pen. So the syrup pen, this is my favorite pen for like filling in lots of color. So I want you to select that. So syrup is an inking. It was just above the technical pen. These are the free brushes that come with every Procreate. So syrup, it's a nice, thick, bold line. I use it for filling in. I use it for filling in. I mean, that's literally all I really use it for. So, but as you can see, like I just did a bunch of lines and stuff, but that shows you the difference. See how thick that is? It kind of reminds me of like a marker, you know, like, what are they, Coptic markers? Yeah, it's like, that's the famous art markers. I bought my daughter a couple years ago some knockoffs on Amazon, so you can buy them off of Amazon too. The Copics are really expensive, and on Procreate they just give you this for free, you know, so I love it. It's really easy. All right, so I want to show you guys my brushes for shadows. So click on the brush again. Oh, I forgot to show you sketching brushes. I want to show you sketching before I show you my final brushes, okay? So I want you to click on sketching, which is right above inking, okay? So my favorite brush for drawing, not drawing, but like doing quick sketches, rough sketches, kind of like that one I just showed you, like this one. If I was just trying to do a quick rough sketch on Procreate, and I wanted to look kind of like this, I did this in a pen, but if I wanted to be, you know, like a pencil looks, I would use any of these pencils. My favorite is this one though. It's called the 6B pencil. So click on the 6B pencil and you can make some sketchy lines. If you hold your Apple Pencil different ways, it changes how it looks. So at first I was just like this, and then I kind of did like this, and then I have it really flat against here, that makes it pretty good for shadow and stuff. I don't really use it for shadow. I'll show you what I do for that. But the 6B pencil is my favorite. It feels like a nice, like a high quality pencil with a good lead that's not too hard and not too soft. Does that make sense? I don't know. I used to draw, like, again, you know, I used to draw a lot. I thought I wanted to be an artist, whatever. So I got really into pencils and what is that, graphite, all that stuff, watercolors. I never use oil paint though, so I don't know about that. But this is 6B pencil, so I just want you guys to see that. All right, so let's do a couple more. So this is technical pencil. This is what I used to use, but I don't love it as much. See that? See how it's like, it's like a really sharp but hard lead, and I don't love that. Another one is Procreate pencil, and my opacity was down, so sorry about that. But Procreate pencil, it's just a little bit too soft for me. You know, if this was a real pencil, I would say I don't really like this one. It's too soft, you know. And then HB pencil. So I used to use HB pencil a lot too. I also don't love this one. It's still like a hard lead. Okay, my favorite drawing pencil I have two of them. It's a 0.5 mechanical pencil. Let me show you my mechanical pencil. So this is a 0.5. This is my favorite. And then a number 2 pencil. Yes, a number 2 pencil, because I used to sketch a lot in school. So to me, that's the best feel of a pencil. And so the 6B pencil, this one right here, that is my favorite. I'm just gonna put a check mark. So that is my favorite. I love how it flows and it moves. If I had to choose another one, it would probably be this, the Procreate pencil. But I do not really love the HB pencil. There's one called Peppermint as well. I've used that one. Let's see what that looks like. That one's okay. So it would be this one, then this one, and this one. But honestly, I just stick to this. And what I notice is that you could just stick to one, you know, just use the same kind of pencil over and over again. I would say first play around with them, but just use the same kind of pencil or a brush over and over again, and it'll make your job faster, okay? All right, and then the last thing is I want to show you guys what I use for shadow. So again, in the brush library, select the drawing palette. And I love this brush with all my heart. Like, if I could write a song about it, I would. I don't know why. It's just, what I love about it is that, I'm just getting closer because I put so much stuff here. But it's just real smooth, like a real smooth shadow. It builds on itself. Every time, if you lift your pencil and you just keep putting it down again, it'll just get real dark. If you put more pressure on the pencil, so we'll start soft, getting darker, darker. You know, it's just so good. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Another thing I like about it though is that it has a look of watercolor. So I feel like watercolor can look so pretty, but it's hard to work with. Like, I do watercolor as well, like physical watercolor, but it's a lot of work, and it's super messy. But this can give you that look as well. And there is a watercolor pencil here, but I love this for it, you know. So you can use this for shadows, you know. Again, you can build on it. So play around with that. Play around, play around, and let me take a sip of my smoothie, and then we're gonna move on. Oh, and just one more thing. I also use this for highlights. So this will be my shadow layer, and then I make another layer that is a highlight layer, and I just use this one brush for both of those. So I love it. All right, so I'm having a little bit of my smoothie, and then we're gonna jump to the next page. Okay, my smoothie is good too. I just want y'all to know. Okay, so now we're gonna work on size, transparency sliders, and undo/redo. Okay, so we need to play with the size of the lines we want to draw. The slider on the left-hand side, so right here, so these are the sliders. The slider on the left-hand side is so important. You will use this all the time. The first slider, so this one up here, point to it with this, sorry. So the first slider is the size and thickness of the line you draw. So I'm gonna move down here because we need some space. I'm gonna go back to technical pencil. No, I'm not gonna go back to technical pencil. Let me see, because I put the certain pencil I wanted to use in here, didn't I? Okay, I didn't. I thought I did. So oops, it looked like something was on my page. I guess not. All right, so let's play with the size. So right now, if you click where your slider is, it tells you like what number you are at. So I'm at 13%. So this is what a 13% line looks like in the gloaming brush, which is in the drawing palette. Now I can make it really big. I hope you guys can see. Let me see if I can do it with my left hand so y'all can see. I don't want my hand to cover it. Okay, so this is 62%. Yikes. See how big that is? That's crazy. And then let's make it small. Let's make it really small. So that's so tiny, and it's 1%. Okay, so you can change up the size, and sometimes you want to do that. Like when I'm shading stuff, if I have to shade, like let's say I did a gown with ruching or shirring or draping. People have different names for it, but it's just, you know, that drape look. Sometimes I need a really small highlight, so I'll make my brush this small, and then I'll do a highlight on it. And let's say I need to do like an entire huge skirt or something, I might make my brush pretty big. Okay, so you can change the size. Let's play with the next slider. So this, we're gonna use the same brush. I'm gonna make it bigger. Let's do like, let's go back to 13% because that was a good size. Maybe not. Okay, all right, so we're back at 13% again. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This slider right here is opacity. So you see how the numbers are going up and down? So that's 100%. Let's do 50 or close, 52%. See that? And then let's do like 9%, because I want you to be able to see it. At 1, like this is 1, nothing, okay? 1% is just, it's basically invisible. But as you can see, you can play with the transparency of your stroke lines or your drawing lines. Why is that important? So like I said, so we're just talking about this brush right here. So because I use this brush for shading, sometimes I might need just a light shading. You know, it shouldn't be black. You know, if it's a white dress, it shouldn't be black. So maybe I want it to look like this one does. But let's say the dress is black or like a dark gray. I would want it to be like this, or somewhere in between here. Okay, so you can play around with this. So do a few lines if you haven't already. Play with this one and this one. Play with both of them. And then I'm taking a sip, and then we'll go to the next one, which is, I love this next tool. Like, this is why Procreate matters to me. Also, I'm just gonna check comments right quick too. I just want to make sure we're all together. Okay, I see Ariana saying she can't download the Croqui from Facebook. So it's actually, if you click it, it brings you to a Google Drive. So I created a folder for all of our freebies and workbooks and things from the classes. So when you click that link, it's going to take you to Google Drive, and then you can just download it from there. Okay, I think you might have to, I feel like maybe I should check. Let's do that together right quick. So sorry about that. I'm just gonna see if I'm right. Don't look at all my folders, y'all. I have so much. Okay, and this is just one thing. All right, we're gonna go to class 2. So that link will take you to this folder, and then let's look at the Croqui. So usually when I want to download from Google Drive, I just hold my finger down and I press OK, and that downloads it to my computer. Or my iPad, sorry, it's my computer. This one, it almost looks like nothing is there, but that's just because the lines on the outside, the outline is pretty light. But again, you just hold your finger down, it says save the camera roll, and you press OK. Okay, so I hope that helps. This is the lace. I'm so happy about this lace. Like, I have used this lace for so many things. But again, you can do the same thing as well. And what's cool about this is that we're gonna be able to change the color, so it doesn't have to stay this color. So let's go back to Procreate. So I'm just double clicking to go back. All right, so the last thing, hey Monique. Okay, so the last thing is, let's get into the redo and undo. So I showed you these 2 sliders, but one of the things I love so much about this little tool thing, all right, sorry, my daughter's trying to talk to me. She's mouthing words, and I just cannot read it when people try to mouth words. Okay, so right here, and this little slider thing, is the undo and redo buttons. Now, I don't know if it's gonna work because I came out of it. Let's see. It worked, yay! Usually when you come out of a, you know, canvas on Procreate and maybe go to another program, it automatically saves and it won't let you go back. But I think it realized that I wasn't trying to leave it for good, like I didn't really close it. But this is the undo and redo. So obviously, right here, oops, this is undo. So look at that. I'm getting rid of everything. And then this one here is redo. See that? So now I want you to make everything go away. So keep pressing back. See, let's see how far we can go back. But don't press until, like, press until she's still here, okay? Or actually, stop here. Stop at this black one. So this will be the last one you erase or redo. So you see I put a lot of lines. I don't know if y'all did as many as me, so I just have a lot more to take away. All right, so we're here. Now, let's redo it. Because guess what? I made a mistake. Wait, I do want all these lines. So now you can bring everything back. And so I did it faster this time. Good night. Okay. So see that? Undo, redo. Okay? So y'all just play with that for a second. Let me just make sure Arion's able to get those croquis. Let's see. Oh, thank you for coming, Monique. And just watch the replay. Watch the replay. And I know you're going to get this because we used to do Illustrator together. Monique and I used to work together in the New York Garment District, actually. We were both assistant designers for a denim company out there. And I actually got fired from that job. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I actually did. I actually did. So what was actually happening was I was actually interviewing for another job that I really wanted. And I just wasn't giving my 100%. I wasn't doing it. So anyway, but yeah, we used to work together in the New York Garment District. So that's that. All right. So let's get back to this. Oh, I just saw your question about the generation. So I just know like mine is a 10.5 inch and I don't know if that means anything, but I think like as long as it's like no more than 5 to 6 or 7 years old, something like that. I'm actually finding a lot of conflicting information. I was told that you could not use a regular iPad to use Procreate and that you had to have an iPad Pro. This is a regular iPad. So I don't know. And this is not a brand new one. I think it's like maybe three years old. I think that's what I said in the last video. So I think it's about three years old now. No, that's not true. It was a refurbished one. I got it on the Apple Store. Okay, I don't know. All right, let's move on. Oh, no, actually, I just heard something about it. It's any iPad that can get the newest update. So what is it, 16 or something, iOS or whatever? Any iPad that can get that newest update will work. If it can't, because it's a little bit too old, then those don't work for Procreate. I hope that helps. Maybe see if you could talk to like customer service or like online chat or something to confirm that. But I know that the newer, like it needs to be a certain age in order to use the latest update. Because they do that with the computers too. Like if the computers are too old, I have like a 2013 MacBook, and then I bought a refurbished I bought it in 2021, and I think it was a 2018 or 2019. You know, so if it had been, I think they said just 3 years younger, or sorry, older, a 2015, it would not have worked with whatever this is. What is this? Ice cream sandwich. I don't remember what they call it. It's something like that. That's the name of their operating system. All right. So we've done all this. I just want to just explain again what you could use this for. Like, let's say you make a mistake. You make a mistake. You put something somewhere you weren't supposed to, or it just doesn't look right. You can just undo it all, you know? And then let's say you realize, no, you didn't make a mistake. You can bring it back. So I hope you guys play with that so you understand how to use it. And then I just want y'all to just know, like, what I love about Procreate is that it's so many different tools for your success. So it's like when people say they haven't tried it yet, I say, like, listen, as soon as you start getting into it, and really because I'm telling you guys about it and giving you, like, you know, advice from the position of a dress designer as well, I can tell you half this stuff we don't even need. I would say I have like maybe 100 brushes. I just told y'all I use 4 plus a couple others. So I think I use less than 10, maybe like 6 or 7. You don't need 100 brushes. You don't need all these different tools. You just need what's going to get you beautiful, professional looking sketches for your clients. So we did undo, we did redo. So right now we're going to transition into creating a dress together. So I want you to clear it all. And I'm going to show you how to clear it really easy, because you can do all this, but I'm going to bring it back. Okay. You can do all that, but you can also just select the 2 boxes that show the layers. You can either go like this, and that makes it go away, or you can click the layer again. That makes this, like, you know, drop down menu come over here. You can press clear. I'm going to redo it again, or you can go up here. So right next to the layers, there's like a little eraser tool, and you could just erase it. So I just showed you 3 ways to get rid of the stuff that you don't want on your canvas, okay? I feel like I just spit on my laptop. I'm sorry. I really did. Okay, so either delete it by erasing it, clear it. I'm gonna show y'all one more time, so just in case you missed it. I don't know if anybody's taking like notes or anything. It is in the workbook, but I feel like some people like to see it. So actually I showed you 4 different ways, because you can click here, that makes it go away, but the layer is still there. So maybe you had something there that you just don't want to see right now. Or, so I'm putting it back, or click the layer itself. You get that drop down menu, you can hit clear. Oh my gosh, I forgot there's one more I can show you. But yeah, okay, so click clear, and that takes it away. Or, I brought everything back again. Eraser tool. I'm just going to erase a little bit of it, because actually I'm going to show you one more. So let's say you don't want this layer at all. I cleared stuff, I erased stuff, but you don't actually want this anymore. You don't need any of that stuff that's on there. You just take the layer, push it over. So you put your pencil on there, push it over. This gives you 3 different options. You can lock it. That's if you don't want to by mistake erase something or lose that information. You can duplicate it. That is exactly what it is. You know, you can that's copying it. Or you can press delete. So press delete. So it's gone. Okay? So that's what 5 different ways to erase or delete or get rid of stuff on a layer. I'm going to bring the layer back though. I'm going to use clear. Actually, am I going to do that? Yeah, all right. Yeah, I am going to do that. Sorry. I just wanted to see what my direction said. So press clear again. Make sure all the stuff is off. Make sure you're out of that layer. Bring your Croqui and your canvas again to like a size where you can see the whole thing. Click the wrench tool right here next to gallery. The wrench tool, again, it gives you all this information. Right now we're just focusing on insert a photo because we're about to draw this dress. So I downloaded 2 of these dresses. I'm just clicking the last one. Click it. The dress is there, but she's really big because remember the Croqui was really big before. So what did I taught you guys how to select. So you're already selected, so you don't have to do it again. But if you wanted to, you can try one more time if you just want to, you know, play around with it. So you could, you know, hit that arrow that was blue, hit the select thing right there, and then draw around it, and then hit the arrow again, and that selects the entire dress. Okay. So now you want to make it big and small. So remember, that's the first thing that we did. We played with making the Croqui big and small. So now we're playing with this, making this big and small. And now we're just going to make sure we make her fit our girl. I think I'm almost perfect. Almost. I want to talk to you guys about this Croqui real quick. Yes, I got it. I got it. I'm just making sure everything's good. So you don't have to make it tiny or whatever. You just want to make it where it fits, and just look at around her curves. Make sure it fits around her curves. So this girl has her hand on her hip. Tonight I am not going to show you how to erase all the dress because, like I just said, it's just erasing. Typically when I draw her, I actually just leave the dress just like this, because sometimes I'll take the Croqui from underneath it. This is like how I do it. Remember I said you can click this here? So imagine if this dress was all drawn and stuff, but I just didn't want the Croqui there. You can still see the dress, and it looks fantastic, right? Okay, so but I'm putting the Croqui back. But remember, you can always take that away. All right, so I'm on, let's see what layer we're on, because remember, we don't want to draw on the wrong layer. So I am on layer 2, okay? So we just resized her. We just resized her, so now I want to make some design changes to my girl. So let's play. So the first thing I want to play around with is coloring her in. All right, I'm going to give you a quick side note. I was asked to learn a certain technique. It's called masking. There are 3 masks. There is alpha lock, which is a type of mask. There is mask, and then there is, let me just see what it's called. Hold up. I don't want to make up no lies. Okay, mask, alpha lock, and then there's a mask that you can put on the top of the entire layer. We are not going to do that tonight, and I'm going to tell you why. I am still not great with it, and I still haven't found the value for what I do, okay? I used to do masking when I used Illustrator, but the truth is I need a little bit more practice with it here in Procreate, and I've been able to make beautiful sketches without it. So I would say let's not do the mask right now. I think if we just stick to the basics, we could work on masking later. And like, I know how to do it, but I just don't see the value for it, and to teach it right now just doesn't seem worth my time. Not my time, sorry, worth y'all time. So instead, let's just work on coloring this dress in and then adding some details. So she already has like these little short sleeves. I'm not going to change the sleeves and stuff right now. We'll do that in just a little bit. But let's color her in. So let's make sure we're on the right layer. So this is layer 1. This is the Croqui layer, remember? And you can always tell what layer you're on by just hitting this, and it'll show you what that layer is. This is layer 2, the skirt layer. You can click it. The dress layer. You can click it, and that shows you which one you're on. I want you to click back on layer 1. I want you to click the plus sign, and now you have a separate layer in between. I always do my coloring on the layer underneath the outline of the dress or whatever. So that way I can change it whenever I want to. So whatever color you guys want to use, go to your palettes and select the color. I think I'm gonna do ivory. So I'm gonna just use my ivory palette. I will be giving you guys these palettes. I'm gonna give you guys one free, and then for students of the Sketch Academy, you'll receive, like, literally, like I just mentioned, I'm gonna make a bunch of different palettes. So I'll probably give you guys like the white palette for free, and then if you're interested in learning more and, you know, learning more with me, I'll give you the ivory, the pink, and the blushes. But you can also make them yourself, and I will show you how to do that as well. I feel like one of my goals is not to just be like, oh, buy this from me, but it's also to show you how to do stuff. So I was asked, like, can I teach you guys how to make croquis? I already told you that this one is drawn from a person. And I feel like she looks like it too. You know, like, this is not just no regular croquis. So that's something I will teach you guys how to do. And it will be in a free class. So worry not, I will show you. But if you want a deeper learning, you want advanced, you know, techniques, I will definitely give that to you as well. All right, so we're coloring in. So remember, we're on layer 3, which is between these two layers. Again, this is the dress layer. This has nothing in it yet, so I'm not going to click that, but this is the croquis layer, okay? It's important to be on this layer. We're going to go back to the library, the brush library, and we're going to click the inking palette, so inking. And then remember I said I love to use syrup to color stuff in or to fill stuff in. So I'm already selected on syrup. I do need to check and see if the size of the brush is okay, because I'm about to show you an easy way to color in your sketches, okay? So I'm just moving this around. What I love about Procreate is that you can move things around. Like, you don't have to be like moving this all around and trying to, you know, figure stuff out. You can just move this around, you know? So I'm gonna draw, or I'm just coloring a little bit, like a little outline all here. I'm trying to be careful so I don't get too far out the bounds or out of the line. When I was in kindergarten, the teacher said I could not color in the lines, and I was in a lot of trouble for that, and they sent me home with all these worksheets. Guess what? I still can't color in the lines. I'm doing okay tonight, though. So, oops, I went a little bit over. I don't want to go too far over. But, so I just want you guys, you've selected a color, and I want you to fill in your dress with that color. Uh-oh. And you're not going to fill in the whole thing, because I'm going to show you how to do that really fast and easy. So just keep outlining. You can fill these little sleeves in all the way, because they're really small anyway. So like little details like that you can do. But the rest of it, just like, we're just doing a nice thick bold line on the outside. Make sure your brush is about the same size as mine. If you're using syrup, this is about 21%, okay? So it's nice and thick, but not too thick and not too thin. See, I missed a little bit right here. I'm gonna fill that in. This tonight is not gonna be as perfect as I try to get it, but I want you to play more and practice as much as you can. It's actually quite relaxing, you know, like, to me, this is kind of like therapy. I put on a sermon or a motivational video or a movie, and I just be like, sometimes music too, but I like something that is, or a class even, like, I'll be learning while I'm drawing. And I'm not even talking about a Procreate class. I'm talking about like a business or entrepreneurship class, and I'll just draw. And of course, I'm not taking notes unless like something just had me like, glory, and I have to write it down. But for the most part, I'm just like, you know, I'm just zoned out and just feeling like, you know, really chill and just coloring stuff in. All right, so again, remember this has that nice split, so do not fill that part in. I'm just trying to get pretty close. Don't want to go over the split. Want to keep her thigh showing because she's sexy, okay? I sound like my mom when I said that. Oh my gosh. All right, and then I'm just connecting it. And then I'm gonna fill that area in. I want you to color in however you color, you know, like whatever your method is, but just don't fill you know, like you're leaving as big of a space as you possibly can. So keep on, because it's going to get really fun in a second. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. All right, keep on going. And for those who've already done it, just, you know, keep playing around. Try different colors, you know. I have a few like little spots that are extra. See that one right here? Let me just erase it. Oops. My brush is super big. Sorry, my eraser. I just want to tell you about erasers real quick. So eraser is super straightforward. You can erase things. However, click on your eraser real quick. The eraser usually makes itself match to the brush. So I have a syrup eraser. A syrup eraser is perfect when I'm drawing, you know, or filling in color, or I want to erase a big amount of something. But some of these brushes have like this one right here. If you erase and you have that kind of brush on, it's going to leave a lot left. I will show you. Let's get close. I'm clicking that. See that? You see how it didn't get everything? It's actually useless. I personally think it's useless. So just keep that in mind. Let's go back to the syrup eraser though. And then the size was just too big. See that? It just took everything. So instead, I'm just going to undo that. And I'm just going to make it smaller. Because I don't need a whole lot to erase right now. I'm not making crazy mistakes. I'm not, you know. Oh, and then there was one more. Sorry, I forgot. I need to erase this one too. Now, I didn't have to. When you see what I'm about to do in a second, that is going to be fun and so exciting. I'm just letting you know that you'll see that you didn't really have to. I didn't have to do that. I could have left it. Just going to erase this side right here. Just erasing, filling in, getting a little bit sloppy. I don't want to be too sloppy. I want it to look like something, you know? And then we're going to come down here. Erase that. Okay, cool. I just don't want extra. Okay, so now that we have this all outlined, oh, sorry, I see like a little mistake that I just don't want it to be. I don't want it to affect how this turns out. And then I see I have a little bit extra that I could fill in right here. Oops. A little extra. And then here. All right. All right, so now time for the fun part. You're gonna take see the circle here? Click the circle, pull it down. So you see how you have a little tiny circle there? Bring it into the dress and drop it. We colored it in. Wasn't that cool? Like, that's what I was trying to tell y'all. That's what I love about Procreate. It's so cool. So we have basically colored in the whole dress just by doing the outline. Can you do that with pencil? No. We will be sitting here for a while still trying to color it in. I wanted to make sure that the edges weren't too crazy, because usually I go through it really fast, but I realized like there's no real reason to go too fast. If I do a really good thick bold outline, it'll work really well. I want to show you something else real quick. So you see how I have, this dress actually has, it's like a, it has a split, but there's actually a skirt underneath this and then tulle on top. But for this class, I'm not going to, you know, go too deep into that right now. But if you wanted to make these two different colors, so let's say the dress underneath was all lace. It was sheer with lace on top. Maybe even the illusion mesh, so it's like the color of her skin with some lace on top, and it's like ivory lace or white lace. But then this should be all ivory and it's tulle or it's satin or it's organic, you know, whatever you use. And it's just one color. Is not the white lace overlaid on the brown skin, or brown skin tone mesh. You would want to make sure you would do that whole outline separately. So I just did it all together. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So basically, I wouldn't have done like this. Let me just go back. So I wouldn't have done like this. I would have actually cut it like this. And then I would erase, you know, maybe I wouldn't erase it, but I would just have done this separately. So this wouldn't be here. This wouldn't have that color too. So then this dress underneath will all be this color. And then this over here, I can make a different color. So that's all I'm trying to say, that you could actually change up the color of stuff. So I want to show you guys how to change color. Oh wait, I just messed that up. I went the wrong way. And y'all ain't say nothing. Okay, let me just drop the color back on again. So remember, this is how you drop color in. You grab that circle, you can play around with this, but when you drop it here, it will fill in. And see that? See how it just left that area? Let's see if I can make it be a different color. Just for the sake of an argument. See that? So it wouldn't look like this. You know, you wouldn't have all that gray in the middle of the ivory on the outside. But that's just to show you like what can be done. So let me just put the right color back. Drop it again. All right, so our dress is all ivory color. All right, and so if you look in the workbook, that's what we were working on. Even though we were doing that on the mermaid dress, I just showed you how to do it on this dress. Okay, so now I want to show you guys a few things. So that's basically the end of the lesson in terms of what's in the workbook. I want you to get to this point, and then I want, so now you'll be able to color in dresses, you'll be able to do that sort of thing. But now, let's take it a step further. I'm going to show you how I do illusion mesh. All right, so this is the layer that we're on. We just want to make sure by hitting that. So it's, yep, I'm on that layer. Great. It's like, that's something that you might want to check and make sure you know. So there's several different ways to do this. I actually want to do this my simplest, easiest way, because some of the other ways are a little bit more to do, right? And if the final result looks the same, what's the point? So I am going to, this selects the entire layer. So I didn't even say that before, because you can use the selection tool to select, which I did that terribly, but you can use the selection tool to select, but you can also, if you don't need to select only a small section. Let me show you a small section. Let's say I wanted to make just the top black or something. See how it got close and I drew around it? So I'm going to swipe down. You use 3 fingers to swipe down, and then it pops up this copy and paste menu. I could press cut, and see now it took away the color, right? And then I could paste, goes to a separate layer, right? Let me plug in my iPad real quick. Guess what? I prepared because I knew it was going to do that. Okay, so yeah, so I swiped down. I got this onto another layer. Let's say I wanted it to be white. Let's make it white. So I'm selecting white from the palette, selecting from the circle, dropping it onto the that's like a corset top, whatever. I just didn't draw the bones yet. And now the whole top is white. So that's one way if you want to select things, but let's go back. So like I said, you could just go back just by hitting undo. Because I realized, no, I don't want to do that. I've changed my mind. So now I actually want to select everything. So instead of using the select tool to select it, I could just hit the arrow. It takes everything. I'm going to do a 3 finger again. So this is how you copy. I did cut before, which took it from that layer. This time, I just want to copy this entire thing and make a new layer. So I'm just going to hit copy because we want to keep this layer as it is. And I'm going to hit paste. Okay, let me show you the layers because I want you to see what's happening in the layers. So now we got 2 of the same one, right? So now, remember I said that you can turn opacity up and down? So this is the layer we're on, but the one that's underneath, I want to turn down the opacity. So remember, we click the N. We can play with this. You can't see it here. Actually, let me do it so you can see. So I'm going to make this layer go away. So remember I said there's different times you might want the layer to go away. This is one of them. I'm going to hit the arrow and the layer above. And then here, okay, so we click the N, so we made that layer go away. And this is how you know it's gone. Okay, so this is how I made the dress sheer. But who's going to wear a dress that's sheer like that with absolutely no kind of structure? Nobody, right? Or maybe somebody would. Somebody could design something like that. But I just want to show you something that you might be able to use, especially like when we got corsets and illusion mesh going on. So I'm going to stop playing with this. Let me bring it back up normal. Put that one back. And then I'm just going to adjust this to like 40%. And let's see how that looks. Good. All right. So it's kind of a good sheer, not too light. I'm going back to this top layer. I want to get close. So I have decided that I want this dress underneath to have some lace because as I was talking about, I kind of like the idea. So I'm going to select the eraser tool. I'm going to make the eraser a bit bigger because I just want to erase a large section. And then I'm just erasing, and now you can see that sheerness underneath. That gives you either illusion or it's like made out of like organza or something like that. All right, so now that's all gone. I'm just gonna clean up because I erased a little bit more than I wanted to. So I'm gonna making this brush a little bit smaller because syrup is really thick. And then I'm just coloring in right here. Okay, I just want to make sure that oops, I'm not going over. See that the eraser brush was still on pretty big because it matched the brush we were drawing with. And I'm just erasing right here. And so I also noticed that somehow like a little piece got erased here. So if I just go to that layer that's sheer, I could just color it in real quick. So see, did you see that? I hope you saw that. Then I'm just gonna erase that. It's kind of coming over. All right, so we've got a sheer corset, but we also want a sheer skirt. The skirt will have, it'll look sheer, right? You know what I'm saying? Like the skirt will look sheer, but it'll really be like lined in her skin tone or something like that. So we're going back to that layer again. Notice how, look, it's just a skirt now. Let me take this one off. So see that? Without the coloring in, it's just the skirt that's colored now. All right, let's put it back. And then here, again, we're gonna erase all this. And that's my pen, sorry, my brush was too small, so let's just make it bigger. So now we're erasing this. And we can erase all the way up into there because it's also, you know, it's gone there too. So I'm just erasing all of this. And guess what? We're gonna draw a corset. So I'm gonna show you how I draw a corset. I notice a lot of designers have a signature corset style, so I've created my own. And I'm inviting you, once you see what I'm doing, I'm inviting you to place your bones a certain way that you can call that your signature, you know? Just gonna erase, just getting as close as I can without trying to go over. And I just went over as soon as I said it. Just gonna fill that in. Because I want it to look like it's like the skirt is on top of this. But the dress picture that you guys saw, oh, did I don't know if I showed it to you guys again. Dang it, I think I didn't show it to you again. Yeah, that dress, I made several different sketch versions of it. You know, so like, that's the power of these templates, that you can change up the dress design as much as you want to. I'm just gonna get close again, I'm filling this in. I just don't want it to look like the sheer is going into the second part of the skirt, the detachable part of the skirt. All right, so you see that. Let's draw some bones. So I'm selecting layer, and I'm gonna go above this one. I'm just gonna hit that plus. I'm gonna come here to the color. I'm gonna grab a black color, or actually I'm gonna grab this color right here. It doesn't have to be black. And then I'm gonna select the technical pen in the inking palette, my favorite, as I said before. And now we're just gonna draw the bones of the corset. I actually did this in a different, what do you call it? A different, like I usually draw the corset first. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I'll draw the whole outline and then I'll draw the corset first. Or I'll draw the bodice with the corset and then I'll do the skirt and all that stuff. So I did it in a different, I don't know what the word is, forget it. If you know, drop it in the comments because I don't know. I done forgot. It's late, y'all. It's been a long day. And I hope everybody had a beautiful day and you're going to have a great Labor Day weekend. Hopefully we're going to get some rest. But I have to do my daughter's hair. She has a lot of hair, so I don't think I'll be getting any rest. So I'm just drawing like the shape of the cup. And then I'm drawing, oops. This is my signature style. I love this V look. I've been making my dresses have that for a long time now, especially in my sketches. You can try something like that too. I wouldn't say do the exact same one. I would say like come up with a shape you like. I also do this because, you know, part of the one thing I was talking about with this class when I was, you know, promoting it is that as a dress designer, I know how dresses are made. I know, I think I just put a little bit right here. I want to erase that. I know how dresses are made. I understand construction, you know, I've made gowns, you know, so I try to draw my dresses like a real dress would be, you know, as opposed to just being pretty but not functional. I could send this to a pattern maker and say, I need you to make this dress, and they could do that for me. And in fact, I actually do work with pattern makers and sewers and all that stuff. That's something I'll talk about in another time, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. Like, you can literally take these and show them how to make what you're talking about, and it's actually quite easy, and it will not, like, it won't take forever for them to go back and forth like, oh, well, what did you want here? How's this corset supposed to look, you know? So I'm just drawing these bones. I'm drawing these bones. Okay, all right. So sometimes I even add more, like another line here, maybe another one in here, some in here, you know, stuff like that. But for the purpose of tonight, it's just not necessary. But you could just see, like, we have a little corset going on here, right? All right, so guess what? I'm going to make the bones look like they're behind the sheer mesh. So I'm going to select this layer. So I didn't show you this before, but you can move layers around. So you select the layer by clicking it, and now see how how this whole thing is moving. You can move it either, you could put it under something. So this could say like there's hierarchy in layers, and it could be like, oh, these two are together for some reason. Or you could just place it, you know, I could place it behind her. If I do that, you don't see the bones anymore, but so that doesn't make sense. But you can do that. I do that if I'm making veils. But right now I'm actually just going to place it behind this, the sheer layer, and then you can see the corset underneath. That's like one trick for making it look more realistic, you know, because, like I do expose bones where it's on top too. But in this case, it's just not necessary. Let's go to that layer. I'm going to take these off. So again, this is why you might want to take it off sometimes so you can see underneath. Take this one off, take this one off. I'm going to go to the body layer, the Croqui layer, and make another layer. So Procreate is all about layers. It's all about brushes. It's all about tools and techniques. I'm going to select the color again, and then I'm going to select this. I want it to have the color of the bone underneath. And then I'm just filling in my bone because I want it to look realistic. Same thing here. I need to check the time because I want to just make sure I show you guys one more thing that you're going to be like, oh, okay. So I'm just filling in these bones. But like, again, like one thing that I love about this is that it's just so easy to see how you will be able to tell your customer, this is what your dress will look like. You know, this is like, you know, I know how to draw like in a more fantasy sort of way, hyper realistic, where it's just not like something like a real person could wear or would wear, or it's not really clear how it will be made. But this, like when we're just trying to sell our dresses, I don't want to say just because it's a big deal, but when we're trying to sell dresses, your customer needs to know what you're doing. I filled in all the bones. Let's bring back all those layers that I took away. Okay, so isn't that cute? That's cute. Okay, and then I like to put a cup in her bra. So I'm gonna make another layer. I'm gonna do it on top of the boning layer. Press plus. I'm gonna use my favorite brush besides the technical pen. It's called the gloaming. So I select drawing and I select gloaming. So remember I said I use this for shading, which I'm gonna do shortly. But I also use it if I want to make like a cup in an illusion dress. I don't like the cup to be like really thick and dark. So this gives me a soft look, like a cup would look in a dress. I'm just gonna erase that. It went a little bit over. I actually could make the brush a little bit smaller, but I have not chosen to do that. And then I'm just filling this in, just like if you put a cup in the dress, because like you're not gonna let her breast show if this is like for her wedding. If you're talking about party and club outfits and stuff, like you could definitely do that. But if this is for a bride on her wedding day, most likely she's not gonna want, or a prom dress, you know, she's not gonna want the nudity, right? Okay, so now I'm clicking back on that layer. So remember I showed you how to either make it go away. So y'all know how to make it go away, but remember I showed you how to make it a bit more transparent. So I like to turn down the transparency. I'll do it like this much. Okay. All right, so the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm going to start putting some lace on her. So I want to check and see if there's any comments before we start doing that. And I hope y'all doing okay. At this point in the show, I would say This is not so much about like you have to do exactly what I'm doing. I just wanted you to see some of the techniques that I use, and I want you to watch this video again and try it, you know? Like you can make your dresses look more and more realistic, and it will leave your customers like really getting, oh, this is what this dress is going to look like, you know? If you could take away a lot of the guessing, you'll have more happy customers, you know? I actually just had a bride the other day who came for a gown, and it was a 3-piece, and it looked just like the sketch, you know? And it's because I made the Croqui look like her. I was really careful about drawing it in a way that looks like real clothes and like how it would really fit her. I even made her 2 corsets because the way I drew it and then the way the first corset came out, it was actually a bit shorter, and also based on her measurements, it was actually a bit shorter. I did a virtual consultation with her, so I made 2 corsets just to make sure she got what she wanted, and she actually went with the shorter corset. But the truth is, like, I felt really good that I even had that option so she could see, you know, the difference. But if I had spent time drawing it in the sketch, I wouldn't even had to make 2 corsets, okay? Well, let's do lace now, okay? So I want you to go back to the little wrench. Actually, before we do that, let's just go to the right layer. Remember I showed you how to check layers? This one right here I think is empty, but let's just check. It's not. Okay, I was wrong. But I'm glad that it's not empty because this is the layer I actually want to be on when I add the lace. So we're going to add lace now. So click out of that. Click the wrench. Click insert photo. And then I downloaded the lace already, so I'm grabbing it. This is the lace I've drawn before. It's super huge. Everything got resized crazy. You can actually just use your fingers if you want to, or what I showed you before. You can do this. I typically do this because with this, sometimes it gets all messed up and weird, or you hit it wrong. Based on the size of the lace and the size of my bride, I'm gonna shrink it just a little bit, and then I'm laying it on top. Let me get a sip of water. Okay, so see that? I'm laying it right on top. And before I even go any further, I forgot, I want to change the color. All right, so this is ivory. Let's see what it would look like as just ivory. I like it. But what if we was doing something crazy? What if we wanted to be orange? Well, maybe we're really crazy. Actually, this might actually look elegant and beautiful. What if it was green? What if it was purple? So I'm just doing what I did earlier. I'm just dragging and dropping the color. What if it was like this gold color? That could be nice too. Oh, that didn't come out right though. Sometimes the colors don't come out exactly right, so certain colors might not come out right. I think I hit it at a wrong place though, because this looks okay now. Kind of reddish. I don't like that. What if it was blue? That's weird, but let's try it. Blue. I think I want to try like a turquoise blue. See that? So you can just change up the color. I'm gonna make it back that ivory though, the ivory I already had going on. I feel like I put so many colors that there's actually a tinge of them underneath. So let's just hit undo until we get back to where I was. Okay, perfect. All right, because if you do it too many times, you might get some of the color still staying underneath, if that makes sense. All right, so again, like I told you, you can actually also just select the whole thing if you want to, but I'm actually gonna cut it and I'm gonna show you how to do that. But let's select the whole thing, just because I wanna show you, you can move it here, you can put it over there, whatever you wanna do. But let's do like, this sleeve, it has a little bit of ruching. Let me get closer, y'all can see. So it has a little bit of ruching, shirring, or draping, whatever you like to call it. I call it ruching. So I think I wouldn't make the whole sleeve have lace. Uh-oh, I messed that up. I wouldn't let the whole sleeve have lace. I would actually make just a little bit coming over. Oh, shoot. I messed that all up. And I don't want the lace to come off the cup, actually. I don't want it to be like a dress like that, so I'm not gonna do it. But this is the right amount of lace coming off. So let me just make sure I have this in the right area. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to get rid of all the lace I don't want, but I don't want to erase it. Let me show you what happens if you erase it. It's not a big deal. It's up to you. But I could have used all that lace, you know. So I could maybe just erase it first if I want to see what it's going to look like if I'm not really sure. And then even right here, that's if I was letting the lace come over on the tulle skirt, okay? But I don't want to do that. I actually want it to be where I just cut it instead. Okay, I think I got it right. Yes, I got it. All right, so you're going to hit that select tool again. You're going to draw around the lace, being careful to, actually, I want to get a little bit closer too. Okay, so you're going to draw around the lace, being careful to leave, like, you know, the lace around her curves and stuff like that. And wherever you don't want the lace to be on the sketch, you're just going to draw around it. So I drew around it. I'm clicking the arrow, and now, see, it's gone. But I still have it. I can still use it. And that's what we want. We want to still be able to use it. But I'm actually going to leave this to the side for right now because I'm also going to do something else. I want to mirror this lace. So I'm going to select again. Just really, you know, just select it, whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to 3-finger swipe down, press copy, press paste, and then flip horizontal. So I just made it mirrored, I copied it, and now I'm just placing it on the bodice. Yep. Actually, I want to move it just over a little bit. Okay. So because her arm is up on this side, it makes the area that I have for the bust a little bit smaller. So I'm going to show you how you can make it fit even if it's not it's not the right size. So we still have it selected. I want you to, let's play with these two so you can see what happens when you use these different tools. But hit distort. I like distort. I'm just going to click this right here because I want to widen it. So as I pull it, you see how it made the lace kind of come out a bit. So that's cute. I like that. But let's say I don't want to do that. I want to do a different thing. I want to change it a slightly different way. I just want to kind of move it to fit. Because like if it's fabric, if you were making this dress and it was fabric, you can actually maybe patch in some lace, maybe kind of place it and tack it in a way that it kind of stretches a little bit. I don't want to say stretch. I don't know how to explain that quite right. But, you know, like with fabric moves. You know, this is digital. This is almost like paper, which is, you know, it doesn't move. So I'm going to unselect it. I'm going to press undo. It made everything go back to where it was before, so I just have to move this again. I think I didn't say this earlier. I did it too fast and I just realized it. So down here, so see how it's selected? Down here, they have all these options. I don't use most of them. I just usually use flip horizontal or flip vertical. Okay, but I do use all 3 of these. All 4 of the ones on this side. But anyway, so I'm pressing flip horizontal. So it just flipped it. So now it's mirroring each other. So I'm going to place it. I just want to make sure it looks almost exactly like that side. So you can get really close if you need to. All right. And now let's use the warp tool. So I'm clicking right here, warp. Okay. And then let's just look at that side. Okay, so the flower's coming up a little bit. So I'm going to use the warp tool to kind of move her up a little bit. So it's almost like that side. It's not going to be absolutely perfect, you know, because you are moving around just pixels. This is what these are. These are pixels. But I can still get it to look pretty close. So I'm just pulling this over. Almost over. So I don't have enough lace to hit this side. So let's press the arrow. And then let's press select. Let's draw around this. And I'm going to stretch this one by itself. So I drew around this. So I'm just kind of slowly, carefully pushing it over. Because it can get pixelated if you move it too much. But I think I did pretty okay. Like pretty good enough. Okay. Okay. So now let's layer some more lace. So I'm just gonna, let's make sure we're on the right layer. So as soon as I made that copy, it made everything go into another layer. So I'm gonna drop this down, and it's called merging down. So I clicked it, I clicked the layer, it brought all these options up, and I'm hitting merge down. So now all the lace is on one layer, okay? And then that lace that we played with earlier, we cut out. Sorry, I did that completely wrong. You draw around it. You hit the arrow again. This is still on warp. You want it on uniform. You pull it over, and then I can just kind of place it where I want it to be. So I'm doing like placing it here, and then I'm gonna cut it out. Cut like, I don't want any coming down on the waist. Actually, no, I'm lying. I do. But I don't want it to come down like this. I want it to be separate. Because I feel like when you do it separately, it looks more realistic. So I'm just drawing around all this. I'm gonna move that over here, because I do want some coming down here. And then from this point on, you're just gonna watch me as I continue to do this. Like, you can rewatch this again to play around and do it yourself, but definitely I want you to play with the lace, play with drawing, play with all of it, and just like have a good time seeing what you like and what looks beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna grab some more lace. I'm not gonna talk very much, but I'm just letting you know that I'm just grabbing some more lace, because like right now I've run out of lace that I can use. I can always make a copy of this, but I don't want to. I want more lace to use. Oh, sorry, I did the wrong thing. I'm just gonna go back to insert a photo, grabbing the lace again. Lace comes in. Remember, we have to shrink it down, so it's still a little bit too big. I do this all the time, so I kind of can just eye. That looks pretty good. A little bit more. I can usually just eye. Oops. No, why are you doing that to me? Okay, that was whack. So it just got big again, so wackly. Let's just change the color right now. So we need to change the color. All right. So I'm selecting it again, making it small, making it pretty similar in size to this. Make it a little bit bigger. And then I'm filling in. Often you just play around to see where stuff can go. So that's what I'm doing. And I just keep cutting it. I keep adding stuff to different areas. It's just, when I say stuff, I mean appliques. So I just play around, you know, play with placement. But I want this to look totally filled in, the skirt. I'm going to erase this on the side, though, because it shouldn't overlap, because the skirt is underneath, okay? Let's do a little bit more lace. And then after this, I won't add any more lace to it. Instead, I'll use the lace that I have. Is that the right color? Okay. Yeah, the color came out a little bit funky. Let me push it on there again. I think that worked. It sure didn't. It sure didn't. Okay, what the heck? All right, let's back up real quick. It's gonna get big again. I just wanted to not have the color anymore. Okay. Still a little bit different. I don't know why it's acting weird right now. Maybe my iPad is like, you need to go to bed. We all need to go to bed because we be busy. But I'm just going to keep filling in until we got that skirt. And then the last thing that we'll do, okay, I'm just going to show you something that I have to do all the time. Sometimes you can't see the lace underneath and where it should go. So I sometimes will change the color of it. But I'll click the N, and then I'll just change it using one of these settings. So this is good. This makes it light. I just need to see where things will fit in. So that's what I just did there. I'm just trying to patch it in. It's okay if some of it overlaps, but I don't want too much of that, you know, because it depends on the dress. Like if I didn't tell her we're going to be doing a lot of overlapping lace, you don't want to have that happening in your sketch too much, because then it gives them false perceptions of what they will get, you know. Okay. This. I'm going to take that piece again, all these pieces, and I'm just going to start copying and pasting, because I actually don't want to keep, bringing stuff in. You know, like, you don't have to. You can actually just copy and paste a lot, because then I don't have to keep putting new color on it and everything. You see how it's be tripping, so let's not do that. This one is coming up a little bit, so I'm gonna take this one and do the same thing, make that light color, soft light. I actually like the way it looks, like this light color underneath, the lightness of the lace underneath. That looks like a y'all seen like when they take the lace and they put it underneath like an organza or something? I like that. Like I'm working on some dresses that's like that. But I want to do it like, I want to be super unique about it. So, you know, what I just said, I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be like my version of that. I actually even have a dress that has something like that on it, but people don't usually notice it. So, just filling in. I think I'm gonna see. That's good. Okay, that's good. Just erase right here. It shouldn't come over, you know, like none of this should come over the screen. I mean the skirt. Let's see. I need a little bit more lace. I'm cutting this, and I'm not gonna use all of it. Copying it. Erase there. I'm gonna bring everything to the same layer in a second. I just want to fill it here and here. I like to make sure it's filled in, you know? Actually, let's grab that because that was a good piece. I'll grab another piece of that, put it up here. Oh, here we go. And then I'm gonna do it again. I'm just gonna use that as my little filler piece. It's kind of like, you know, taking motifs and just kind of like patching it in to make it all filled and filled together, you know. This one right here is kind of weird, and I can use it here. And then I want that piece again. I can use it there too. So like, as you can see, like when you're doing these lace dresses, it is a lot of work. But what's cool is you can use this template again. You can use so much of this again and again. So let's merge these down, because see how I made so many layers, and I don't really want that many. Let's back up, because I think this one is on. Oh, that's normal. Okay, that's good. All right, merge this down. All right, so I'm still gonna grab some more pieces from this, maybe like this one right here, because I need to fill in that section. Oh, I did not grab as much as I thought I did. We'll go like this. Oh, that's why. So, oh, it's on this layer. Okay. I just want this piece. I think this is a good size and shape. Let's just go like this. Oops. I resized it by mistake. Pardon me. Let's see if I can flip it. Just making everything kind of fit in, you know? Oops. I hit everything crazy. Child, I am tired. Okay. Okay. All right, let's make everything the same, you know, regular, normal color. That way we can see what we have done. Because actually right now, since everything is black, I can't really see it. And then, okay, see, we have a lace dress. But this dress, I wouldn't want you to see her legs. So I'm going to show you one more technique that I use. Because if you're using this one and you decide you want to have like that sheerness too, it's most likely, it's just not possible for this dress to be fully sheer and that you would see all the way to the back if it has this tulle or organza or whatever on top. I need to do a little bit of cleaning. So let me just clean this up. I just don't want anything kind of hanging over, so it's very clear this is underneath this. Okay? All right, so you're gonna go to the layer of the Croqui, press plus. I'm gonna need to look for the color of her skin. So you don't have these colors. I have to figure out how to share palettes with you guys, but I just selected the color I think she is. Let me just see. Oops, I'm not on the right kind of brush. Let me just go to an inking brush. I don't know. Oh, that's not her color. Girl, I'm sorry. Okay, I think this is her. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so if you don't want your whole dress to be sheer like this, you can, just like if you were to take a piece of fabric to line it, you can line it by just coloring in that entire background. And I hope I did this on another layer. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So, and to me, it's important to do it on a different layer than on the original, because what if I want to change the color of this dress? What if she changed her mind and was like, you know what, I don't want it to be illusion mesh color. I want it to be ivory, you know, or I want it to be this, or, you know what I'm saying? So like, I like to try not to put stuff that we have to commit to. Oops. I don't like to put stuff that we have to commit to. That we could change on a layer that you have to commit to. I don't know if that made sense. Good Lord. Because you have to commit to the color if you don't put it where you could just take it off if you want to, the way I'm just doing right here. So I made a lining, you know, just like you would make a lining. Let's say somebody came to you. I don't know who if y'all do alterations, but when I used to do alterations, if somebody came to me and they said they wanted a different lining, I would literally take some fabric, maybe it's the color of their skin, maybe it's whatever, and then I'm lining it. So this is basically lining it in the drawing. And I think it's just so cool that you could do this. Okay. I like it. All right, 2 more things I want to show y'all. 1, shading. And I just wanted to show you one more thing. It's kind of a surprise, and then that's going to be the end, okay? So let's shade. I'm going to see if I can shade fast, hopefully. Let's see. So for shading, I use a darker version of that color. Like I said, I'm going to figure out how to share palettes with y'all. People sell palettes on Etsy and stuff like that. They don't really sell wedding dress color palettes though. Like I have seen color ones, and actually I bought this as a skin tone palette. I don't really love how they did the colors though. I feel like it needs more, so I've made some of my own. But let me just show you how my method for shading. All right, so I grab the drawing palette and grab the glowing brush. I need to make sure I'm on the right layer, so I'm on a layer above the color of the dress, of the skirt, and you know, whatever. And then this is the outline, so I'm between those two. I'm kind of like a sandwich or Oreo, okay? I'm getting close to this so I can see what I'm doing. Make sure the brush is not too big, so that's why I said you might want to be able to get smaller. And then I just color underneath, just following the lines of the design lines, you know, or style lines, whatever you call them. What do y'all call them? Like, let me know. I would love to use like a universal language, and I do think this is called style lines, but like if you were draping, it's called a style line, like when you put the black tape on, or the draping tape. And then same thing here. At the bottom, I sometimes make like little triangles of shade color. And I don't like how I made that go up too high. Little triangle here. Same deal. I don't think this one's gonna take that long to shade, because it's not as many style lines. I'm gonna show you guys also my body shadow lines. I'll do that as soon as I'm finished with these. Oops. I do think I'm getting tired, y'all. It's been a long day with my 3-year-old, who I love so much. He's my baby. But he be wearing me out. I'm not even playing. And I have other, older kids too, so like he wears me out, like, and he's nonstop. My little baby. All right, so almost done with these style lines. There just weren't that many, which is great. If it's just a lot, it's just so much to do. Okay, so here are my body style lines. So I draw, I'm actually gonna make this darker because I actually don't like, that seemed a little bit too light. Okay, so underneath the bust, I draw kind of like the shape of a cup. Actually, I'm not going to even do it on this layer because I actually don't love how you can't see it as much. I'm going to do it on the next layer. So I'm making another layer. And where's my lace? So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it like that. I meant to go above the lace. So I'm just going to click the plus sign above the lace, so make a layer above that, and then I'm gonna go like this. So now you see that, you can see it now, right? Hopefully. Let me get real close. Can you see that? I can even make this darker, but I'm still gonna make it lighter. So that's why I didn't do it. And then here, same deal. And I went a little bit up outside the lines. So usually I would do this too, do the ruching lines too, but tonight I don't actually want to do that right now because I feel like it's not as necessary. You won't be able to see it that much, so we could just leave it. And then, all right, and this looks funky, but the last part is to add the highlight. So I'm adding another layer above that shadow layer I just did. We don't have to do one above the lace layer that I did for the body lines. Okay, and now in between all this, let's do it again. Okay, so between all this, you add that the lightest color. So this is the true ivory color. The color that you see here, that I drew this whole thing in, or colored this whole thing in, was actually like a beige. You know, I don't know if it reads that way on camera right now, but that was more of a beige. But this color that I put on top is actually an ivory, because I want the highlight to look like the color it should be. I could even go a bit lighter than this, to be honest. Okay, I'm just filling all this in. So in between the shadow lines, we just fill those in. I actually love this dress. You know, I'm just throwing it out there. I really love it. I think I would love it even more if it had long sleeves, like the dress picture I showed you guys already. But the thing is, this is the same basic premise. You know, you got the same template, you know, same body type, all that stuff. So same croquis, and then just extra details. So that one I added long sleeves to. These are both off the shoulder, same neckline. So I think I would just add sleeves to this one. I love a sleeve. I don't know about y'all. Especially with the illusion mesh. Come on. Come on. So I'm just filling all this in. And if you're wondering why I don't do the same thing I did before, where I just, you know, outlined it and then filled it in, this brush just doesn't do well with that. It'll leave me with a solid color. It won't leave me with the kind of almost fabric-y look, you know? Fabric-y, shadowy look. I'm just making up words, y'all. All right, so now I turn down the transparency on the layer with the darker color, because I don't like to be that dark. So see, this is really dark. This is basically gone. So I do like somewhere in between. So like this. Maybe here. Okay. And then that top where I put the dark color, I mean not the dark color, the shading on the bust, just gonna turn it down a little bit because I don't want it to be that solid and thick covering up the lace. Okay, that's good. Okay, this is our girl. Because this has a split, you see how you can see the back right straight through? That's not what will happen, so I'm just gonna show you what you can do to cover that up. You're gonna go, so remember we colored in, made it all brown? For this, you need to go behind her. So you make another layer, you move it like I showed you before, move that layer beneath. So now the layer is underneath. And then I'm going to color it in with a darker color so that you can see it. So this will be like, actually I'm not using the right brush. So let me get back to the syrup. So I just did syrup. Oh, she doesn't have shoes on. It's okay. I'm gonna draw some shoes right quick. So I'm just filling in behind here, and then I'll drop it and I'll color that whole area in. Same, I might not have to do it on this side because the space is so small, but if I can, I will, if it makes sense. So I just filled in the back because you wouldn't see you wouldn't see the world behind her. If she had a split, you would see the skirt. I made it a little bit crooked, so. And it wouldn't be like down here, right? Because she's gonna be standing. And then I'm gonna draw a shoe real quick. I'm going to go on the Croqui layer and then press the plus sign. I'm going to make the shoe ivory. Oops. I'm going to use the inking technical pen because I want more control. The syrup pen is just like, it's all over the place. It's great for filling in like huge spaces, but it's not great for like smaller areas. I'm like making up shoes right now. Like, I don't need to be doing that. What am I doing? Let's do simple. I always do like a little ankle wrap shoe. That's like my favorite kind of shoe. And then I'm just curving it a little bit. Now with this shoe, I'm making this super simple. I'm not doing an outline or none of that stuff because the truth is you can't really see all that. So it's not necessary. Let's erase on this side right here. And then let's do around, I do want a little strappy. A little something strappy. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah, I'm not doing a good job with that. I just wanted her to have like a little bow, you know? So I just made like a little drawstring on there. You can add more to it, like you can make it have an outline, make it have more dimension and stuff, but I don't want to do all that. This is her little strappy shoe I made her. I love shoes, you guys. I do. I love them so much. I just don't feel like I could actually make some. I had a pattern for like these flats that I wanted to make, but I ain't doing it. All right, and so we got her shoe. We got all the fills and all that stuff. So the last thing to do for this sketch is I need to add some hair. I want to go grab some hair. So the last video I showed you that I actually draw hair often on like a completely separate canvas. So I am looking for hair. I think I could take this one. I don't like that she has the pearls in her hair right now, so I'm not going to use that one. All right, I saw a hair that I was thinking maybe I should try that one. You know, I love my one regular hair though. That's my favorite. Let's see, is it in this one? It's not in this one. You can see my little test that I'll be doing. Is it this one? This is my favorite hair. But this one you can't get the hair from it because I drew it in a completely different, oh, actually this is the one. Okay, we can use this one. She has on shoes, so I'm gonna just have to take the shoes off. I'm just copying it from another one. Where is she? Child, where are you? Okay, hold up. Where did she go? Oh, sorry. Y'all, I'm sorry. It's late. Okay, let's go to the top layer because the hair should overlap her dress. I'm just pasting it. It's too big because it was from a larger drawing. So I'm just shrinking her hair down. She's already got on some jewelry and she got her signature eyebrow, or my signature eyebrow. I don't know why I said her. Make it a little bit smaller. Also, did you notice there's an arm in this? Because remember how I said that the arm gets drawn over? Oh, I didn't put this on the right layer. Sorry. Let's move this one down. I didn't put it on the right layer. So her arm gets drawn over so often, or her hand gets drawn over. So this one had a hand in it. Get back to this layer. I'm gonna have to erase those shoes because I don't want those shoes. I want my new strappy shoes I just did. All right. So I'm just gonna erase the shoes that was already on her. And I don't want to erase that jewelry, but I just want to see if I can change the color of it because it's white and I don't want it to be white. Nope. And then I see like I could see a little bit of her hair isn't matching up, so I'm just gonna add a little hair in here to cover that up. Okay. She's beautiful. I love her. All right, so let's do this very last thing. So the last thing I want to show you, hopefully I can do this quickly on camera. I want to show you how you could use the mermaid dress that fit a completely different croquis and make it fit her. So I'm just making a new canvas. I'm selecting that one, the 2048 by 3000. Getting the croquis. I'm inserting her. Then I'm making her smaller. So remember we made her smaller so she could fit. Make her a little bit bigger. Maybe I shouldn't, because I just realized that dress is kind of full. And then now I just need to get that Croqui. So let me see if I can find it real quick. Is this it? Nope, this is it, but this is it doesn't have the transparency on it that we need. So hold on, let me just grab that Croqui. Here. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm making it smaller to fit her, but we don't want the whole thing to fit. Like, it's not supposed to fully fit. The only thing I need to fit is the bottom of the skirt. Everything else is gonna get erased. Okay, I'm gonna change the color of this to be black or dark gray. When I do that, for some reason, like a little ghost comes, oops. Because this isn't a stamp. I mean, I have a stamp of this that I made, but it's a PNG. So, I don't know, PNGs are weird. PNG is a file type. I think y'all probably already know that because, like, we share a lot of pictures and stuff like that. I'm not going to clean all that up. Let me just erase anything that's left. Okay, so see how I made it where it's fitting her knees and everything? So, I'm just going to draw the top of a dress. I'm not going to draw an entire dress, I think, right now because it is late, you know. Oh, and my music even stopped. That means I've been drawing for more than 2 hours and 7 minutes. My music is for 2 hours and 7 minutes. So she's going to be the typical kind of prom V-neck dress, which I drew it for that Croqui, but for this one, it's different because she's not the same size, so I have to redraw it. We're just drawing her arms. Oops. Drawing her sleeves, her long sleeves. Y'all know I said I love me some long sleeves. I don't know why that went out so far. Let's go with this. I don't like how that looks so blocky. I'm just gonna leave it for right now. I'm drawing around her bust. Now this dress, I would definitely do it with a corset so she would have, like, you know, the structure that she wants. She could be snatched how she wants to be. Maybe it's laced up in the back. But tonight, I just want to show you that you could make that template fit this girl. If she's orientated the same way, so this girl is standing kind of straight on. So now I just have to clean this up right here to make it meet. So you just meet those lines together. Oops. Meet those lines together, clean up right here. So let me just do it one more time. And then erase right here. Okay, so I made those two sections fit together, and then same thing here. Erase all these areas. I just realized I'm so hungry. That smoothie was not enough. Drawing her bust line again. So the point of this is just to show you that you can change these templates. Even, let's say I did not make, like I haven't made the plus size version of that mermaid template, but let's say you have a customer who wants that dress, but she's a different size. You can just change the template to fit the new person's size. And I think if you just kind of pay attention to what I just did, I just showed you how you can draw croquis as well. I'm just following the outline and kind of tracing along. And guess what? I'm also showing you, like, this is how you could create a croquis. Okay. I wonder if I drop the color, will it fill in fully? I don't think it will, but we could just try. Yeah, I didn't think so. I did not think so. Oh, oh, oh! It worked. It worked, Lord Jesus. Okay. So we made it black. I'm going to change the color. I don't want it to be black. I want it to be like, maybe I do want it to be black. I kind of don't, just because it's super dark and you can't see anything. I'm going to go to a dark gray. But see that? Like, I just made the mermaid dress fit the plus size croquis, right? So I just showed you this because I just want you to see there's so much versatility in these templates that I have created. And I just also want to just throw it out there. These are not stamps. I do have a stamp for this. Let me just show you real quick. I made a stamp for this. But if I'm going to be 100% honest, I am having a hard time figuring out how to share these stamps. I have been in all kinds of illustrators' inboxes, you know, and some people don't want to tell you because it's kind of proprietary or whatever to them. So it's just, I just feel like drawing can be easy and fun, and you can do it for your clients in an easy and fun way. So I'm going to go back to the dress we already made because I want to end it here. But I want to talk really quickly about the giveaway. So remember, for the giveaway, please, you know, create a sketch based on what you've learned tonight. It could have lace, it could not. You could use the mermaid only if you want to, whatever you want to do. But create a sketch, tag me at by Dani Simone Studio on Instagram, tag me at by Dani Simone on Studio. So I have two of them. My bridal Instagram is by Dani Simone Studio, and then my illustration and all that Instagram, which is not really that active right now, is by Dani Simone. Tag me and you could win an Apple Pencil cover. I'm about to buy myself an Apple Pencil cover, and I will get you one too. So the first person to do that will win. Let's talk about the Sketch Academy real quick, and then I will get out of y'all hair. So for the Sketch Academy, I posted about this on, I don't remember what day was that. I don't remember what day that was, but I'm really feeling really excited and proud of this. This is something I've been working on for several years now, and it wasn't even the beginning idea of it wasn't even Procreate. The beginning idea of it actually was going to be with hand sketches. I'm going to show you something real quick. So I'm not going to pull out the sketch for this because that will take me some time to find it. But if you just look in my hand, I have this little, it's like a little, I don't know what you want to call it, but this was a piece that I put over a bride's dress sketch to show her options for her wedding dress. And then I learned Procreate, and I didn't end up, continuing with doing this. But years prior, I had been making these little, I don't know what you want to call them, templates. You can color these in, whatever. I had been making these for a few years. And then I learned about Procreate, and I realized I could do it in Procreate. And the main reason is because I love to sketch, and I feel like this is something that we could all use for our businesses. So I'm going to be doing a pre-launch for the Procreate for Dress Designers Academy. The pre-launch starts September 5th and ends September 10th. Okay. What do you get during, this academy that is like nothing that exists out there right now? I will be doing a monthly sketch along. So just what you just saw now, every single month we will be going through and learning how to draw a specific dress. And you see how like at the end of it, I kind of like just said, okay, let me just quickly show you this. Well, that's not what we're going to do. I'm actually going to show you how to draw, and at the end of it, you need to have a sketch done, kind of like what I did. You can do your own version of it, but you'll be able to use the templates, the accessories, the croquis, all the stuff that I'm giving you to create sketches like that. And you will be able to, finish the entire sketch along with a sketch that you can start showing your clients or posting on social media or put on your website. Okay. I'm going to have weekly office hours. So the office hours, the point of that is I'm already answering questions via email, via DM. I've even set up some calls with people just to talk and chat and talk about if this would work for you. But I'm answering questions, I'm sending tutorials and doing stuff like that. So I thought to myself, wouldn't it be smart to have like certain hours of the day or a few days a week where you can come and get support, ask questions. Maybe we get on Zoom or something and you show me what you're talking about and I can give you answers to, the question based on what you just showed me. So we're going to be doing weekly office hours in real time. I'm also going to be having accountability. So in the free group, I will be posting a weekly accountability post next week. With the actual paid program, we're taking it to the next level. Like, I need to see some homework. I need to see that you are, you know, growing. If you're not, I can give you some more assignments and ideas on how to grow. I can give you more tutorials and videos and things like that. But the idea is that if you want to grow and start, you know, creating beautiful professional sketches that you can show your clients and they're like, oh my gosh, I definitely want to buy from you, you need some accountability. So I know that if you're sitting behind a sewing machine a lot, you might be super busy, but the truth is, in just 30 minutes a day, you can start to become a better illustrator. In the beginning, I was just drawing for like 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there, and then every once in a while an hour, and I noticed my skills were picking up. So the more you do it, the better you will get. So I want to help you with that. What's going to be really cool about this is the monthly template library. And my thing just closed out, like, it's just so rude. The monthly template library. The reason why I just showed you how that mermaid dress would look on the plus size and how I just gave you a different template tonight and a different croquis tonight, the reason is because I would like to do this on a regular basis. I would like to release new templates all the time so that you're always able to add new designs and add different dresses and different elements to your designs. So we're talking about, like, you know, a lot of people were saying they want panels. I started working on the panels. I started working on more laces. I started working on putting together brushes and stuff like that. So I'm also doing like a, you know, a brush library as well. But the idea is that you would consistently get new elements to up your drawing game. And I'll be releasing them every single month just to the people in the program. Those who are, you know, just in the free group, you'll get maybe 2 or, well, I think this time I did 3. So a croquis plus a lace and a skirt, and then, dress. And then the last time it was a skirt, a dress, and a croquis. Okay, so that's 6. So maybe twice a month they'll get 6. My idea, and what I'm working towards in building up this library is that you will get no less than 20 different either croquis in different poses, hair, dresses, and different elements to really get your dresses like to the next level. Because honestly, the way that I draw is just from learning tools and things like that and building up a library. I use the same different dress pieces. I said the same different. I use the same dress elements all the time and just change things up. And people are like, wow, so amazing. Like, honestly, it's super easy. Like I said, there's going to be brush libraries. I have bonuses for people who pay in full. But if you pay in full, so you'll get, you know, an extended brush library. You'll get seasonal color palettes. You'll get additional croquis, templates, and accessories. So if I'm already giving you 20, you know, just because you're part of the program, but maybe you did like 3 payments or 2 payments. If you pay in full, you're going to get additional support. The special classes, you're going to get the manufacturing matchmaker. So that's something that I try to pull out and keep in my bag. But I have been helping designers, some that you might know, with finding manufacturing partners. That's something I don't really talk about nearly as much, maybe as I should. Maybe in the future I will. But if you are looking for help with producing your dresses, either just a single piece, like a single custom piece, or you want to make a line, I can help you with that. And I can find you either, and I just said fine, but actually I already have them. So either you can get couture, high-end manufacturers, or you can get manufacturers who are a lower price, and I will show you how to work with them in these workshops. And then the last one is Pinterest for bespoke businesses. If you just met me, you might not know that I used to do Pinterest management. I actually kind of put that on hold for a while, mainly because of this. But I'm excited to share all the things I've learned from Pinterest. I'm actually a Pinterest, not creator, but I have a Pinterest TV show. I haven't been posting to it. You know why? Because of this. I feel like, you know, people can look at me draw all day. I used to draw live on Facebook, literally just as soon as, I want to say 2 weeks ago. But I feel like part of what I do is to help you learn. And so I kind of stepped away from doing a whole lot of stuff with Pinterest. But my Pinterest be popping, even to this day, even with me not posting as much as I used to. And I actually want to share that with you and show you how you can do it. So the regular price for this is $1,000. Yes, there are payments and things like that, but you get unlimited lifetime access. And that also means anytime I do new updates, any new template packs, let's say after a year, you've kind of, you know, been drawing and stuff like that, and I just introduce all new templates, all new croquis. you can get those too, and that's unlimited access. But during this pre-launch, only for members of my group and people who have been watching this these classes, the price is $500, and I also have 2 or 3 payments. I think the 2 payments is a little bit over $250, so like $251, and then the 3 payments is, I believe, $167. And you would pay that over a 90-day period. And then after that, everything that you get is yours. You know, you get to keep all the unlimited access. Anytime I have a workshop or a class, you're in there, you know. And this pre-launch is actually my founders. So those who are part of this beginning stages of this, because I'm in the works of making this a legit online school. So not just an online school that I've created, but I actually have other instructors who want to help teach people to become bridal designers or bridal, prom, special occasion, birthday, all that stuff. I have pattern makers. I already told you I have sewers. I have all that. So this is like phase 1. And if you get in now, you get to enjoy all the perks I just explained, plus more. So I'm excited to share that with you. I will be dropping the link in the Facebook group, and probably after the 10th, I'll drop it just on my personal page, and I might even run some ads, who knows. But I'm definitely going to be sharing this with the group first. I believe that the people who have already opted in and want to be part of this, y'all need to be founders, you know, and you can help me make decisions on how I teach, what I share, what do I give. So I'm excited for that. So anyway, I really appreciate you guys for watching. If anybody has questions, let me know. Let me just look at the comments because I can't see. Let's see. Does anybody have any comments? If not, because it's actually super late. I'm so sorry. It's 10:56, Lord, and I started at 8:30. So that's, oh, Lord. Whoa. This is a new record for me. If you do have any questions, I didn't think that we would go this long, but I love to be thorough, so there's that. And I really wanted a lot more people to be able to just start drawing in Procreate. So if there's no questions, or if you do have questions, but you know, you need to get off live because it is late, feel free to DM me, feel free to email me by DaniSimone.com, by DaniSimone@gmail.com. I was going to say my website. You know, you can email me, you can DM me if you have questions. Of course, you can ask in the group. And this event is going to be, oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome, Tamara and Angelina. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can obviously ask any way you want to. Obviously, in the group will be great because other people can see your question and I can answer it there too. I'll be making little mini tutorials to answer your questions. But like I said, if you want more than just, you know, the freebies and all that, feel free. Ask me more about the Sketch Academy. I could give you some more information. But that's it for tonight. You guys are amazing. I can't wait to see what you guys created. And I hope you have a beautiful and blessed Labor Day weekend.